for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
And dreams without goals are just dreams.
Come on.
And ultimately, they fuel disappointment.
Exactly.
On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But without consistency,
what gives you strength when you're getting attacked? You're one of the most attacked people in the world.
You can't care that much. I know people that care so much about everything, like what people are saying. You can't care too much because you end up choking.
One of the tragic things about life is that it ends. How often do you think about your death? Are you afraid of it?
It is what it is. I mean, life is what you do while you're waiting to die, so you might as well do a good job.
The wealthiest people on earth. The reason they're multi-billionaires is not because they have 100 rental units. The reason they are multi-billionaires is because they have a company that's valued at tens of billions, and they just take a loan out whenever they want. And the best part is loans are tax-free. Now I live in Dubai, so I don't need to worry about tax anyways, but that's really how you get to the hundreds of millions.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Believe in yourself.
What is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
It can't be done.
I hope suffering happens to you. Boy, this is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering. And I mean that in a happy way, because you want to train, you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of them. And greatness is not intelligence, as you know. Greatness comes from character, and character isn't formed out of smart people, it's formed out of people who suffered.
If you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them. And the difficult part of the lonely chapter is that the Rocky cutscene lasts 90 seconds in the movie and lasts 5 years in reality.
I didn't believe in weekends back then, not to mention vacations. So I'm, fairly lazy compared to myself in my 20s, where I was a true fanatic. All I believed in was working on software night and day, and for my 20s, that was perfect. I didn't have a wife or family at all.
I'm gonna tell you a Shark Tank secret. If you walk in and stand on that carpet and you say to us, this is a $7.3 billion market, and if I only get 1% of that market, I'll have $73 million in sales or profits. It's an immediate, I'm out. Get out of here, right? Because everybody's going to say, if I only get this small percentage, and it seems so easy to get 1%, right? Who can't get 1%? But you can't.
If I come back in a year and I'm just the same exact person with the same thoughts, same ideas, same ways of delivering them, this was a wasted year of my life.
I want to tell all of you that are out there chasing a dream to keep chasing it. I know right now you might feel alone. You might feel like it's just you out there doing it. Everyone thinks you're crazy. People are talking bad about you. Family's worried about you. Bless their heart. Let them worry about you. Let me tell you something. I want you to hear me. Yes, you. You were born to do something great with your life. Daggone it, you were. You're not average and ordinary. There's this part of your heart that wants to be somebody so bad, that wants to make a difference for other people, that wants to win, that wants to accomplish something great. And guess what? God didn't put that dream in your heart as some joke. It's not a hallucination. You're not crazy. Everyone around you might think you're crazy. I'm here to tell you you're not crazy. I'm also here to tell you you're not alone. I'm here for you. I'm here to coach you, mentor you, inspire you, give you the tools, because I admire you out there paying the price, putting the hours in. And there's probably no evidence you should be right now. Maybe
I lost money on my first 2 real estate deals. I lost money on my first crypto deals. I lost money on my first bad hires. I've had 9 failed businesses. I've had 6 failed partnerships. But the crazy thing about entrepreneurship is that you only have to win once.
You know the best way to stop depression? Work your ass off. Work your ass. You don't have time. You want to work so hard that you don't have time for depression.
if you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
One of the most important things, never, ever quit. Never quit. And I've seen people quitting. And if they would have held out longer, they would have been successful. I've seen it so much. I've seen some of the most brilliant people in the world that never made it because they were quitters. They were just quitters. They would quit. They just couldn't take it. They couldn't whatever. Now, you have to also have flexibility, though. You can't necessarily say, I'm never giving up, and you got to be able to weave and bob. You don't have to go through a concrete wall. You have to have flexibility. You have to always be able to change course a little bit, maybe always with that same goal, but don't quit.
I mean, we gambled the company on Lisa. If Lisa had bombed, Apple would be just one more computer company. Everything went into that. For 3.5 years, the best and the brightest at Apple worked on this product. Now, how come they came to Apple to work on this? We hired these people from other companies. And the reason they came to Apple was because they knew what to do, but the companies they were working for wouldn't take the risk and do it. And we said, come to Apple and build this. And they said, well, who do I have to convince to do that? Nobody, just go do it. And we got a collection of I think some of the finest computer scientists in the world that just went and did it. The group of people that do not use quality in their marketing are the Japanese. You never see them using quality in their marketing. It's only the American companies that do. And yet, if you ask people on the street which products have the best reputation for quality, they will tell you the Japanese products. Now, why is that? How could that be? The answer is because customers don't form their opinions on quality from marketing. They don't form their opinions on quality from who won the Deming Award or who won the Baldrige Award. They form their opinions on quality from their own experience with the products or the services. And so one can spend enormous amounts of money on quality. One can win every quality award there is. And yet if your products don't live up to it, customers will not keep that opinion for long in their minds.
How do you, or how can you, stay focused and disciplined for long periods of time?
Cut out the distractions. It's not about focus. Same thing, like it's not about motivation, it's about discipline. You know, it's not about these fancy, glamorous things. Focus, it's not about that. If you cut out all distraction, the only thing that's left is focus. So cut out all the noise, and I think for once you'll actually enjoy working.
If I teach you, you work for me for free. And I said, why for free? And my poor dad went nuts. He says, because if I pay you, you think like an employee. Your brain will change. Wow. If you learn never to work for money, you'll be a rich man.
Live your life to the fullest and take the calculated risk of what it means to be an entrepreneur if in fact that's in your blood. I can promise you if there's 100 people in a room, 100 people have some level of insecurity. You can't have any self-doubt about your commitment and conviction to do this. You might have self-doubt about your ability to succeed, to raise the money, to attract the right people. You don't want to be 40, 50, 60 years old and continuously go back in your life and say, I had this phenomenal idea. I wish I would have done it. Don't look back and have regrets.
There's this thing people think that like, I'll be happy once I get like this big, amazing home, or once I get this car, or once I get this relationship or an amount of money, then I'll allow myself some happiness. The problem is the finish line always moves. You never arrive there, right? The other part is people think, well, if I enjoy myself now, I'm gonna lose my drive. In other words, if I can just wire myself with enough pain all the time, I won't lose my drive or ambition. The truth is there's no correlation between the two at all. There's no relationship between you feeling complete pain all the time and losing drive. For me, our brains, there's dopamine hit you get when you do something successful. If you constantly cheat yourself out of that hit, right, biomechanically in your body, less and less in the future will you want to achieve the next level, the next dream, the next step. And that's why so many people stall out in life. They got to a certain point and they cheated themselves out of the bliss, out of the celebration. It's important that we celebrate our wins. We celebrate our lives because it causes us to want the next.
Do you like having a tough skin? Do you think you have to have a killer instinct in order to be successful?
I think you have to have some, to a large extent, I think you do have to have at least a winning instinct. I think that The world is made up of people with either killer instincts or without killer instincts. And the people that seem to emerge all the time, it doesn't mean they're the best people, and it doesn't mean they're the happiest people. And in fact, in many cases, and in most cases, they're probably not. But the people that seem to emerge are the people that are competitive and driven and with a certain instinct to win.
You use the word competitive and driven. I'd like to know, what drives you?
Enjoyment. Pure and simple enjoyment, Grandma.
I want to buy the enjoyment, but somehow I feel that there is something underneath it, that there's something more that makes you want to succeed, want to be who you are.
Well,
what do you think it is?
Maybe I can just, maybe I could just...
Hey, little window today, little opportunity. They present themselves all the time in life. Right now, here's a big one for you. Whatever you're chasing right now, your dream, your business, your better body, right? Your better mindset, more spirituality. Just remember this right now. Most people are dragging today. They're dragging. It's after 4th of July weekend. It's the summer, all kinds of stuff on the news. There's a little window right now, what I always call separation season. There's all these mini seasons in life. And one of them's usually after a 4th of July weekend, usually summertime. And now with everything in the news, you got a little window right now. You press the accelerator down, they flinch, you go. You're like a dripping faucet. You just keep coming. You just keep going. When they flinch, when they get weak, when they get distracted, they get tired, you blow their doors off.
About how I made a career was I was patient. So I would say to anybody still today, if you're going to be good at something, it does take a while. Just enjoy the getting there. You're going to get fed up, you're going to get disheartened, and people are going to tell you you're useless. Had all that. But what I can say, after about 15 or 20 years, I learned how to do something well. And I enjoyed that getting there as much as being there.
I was pretty happy with my life. My wife was not. What she saw was a college dropout who spent too much time in the mountains doing foolish things. She wanted me to work full-time as a computer programmer. My family was still mad at me for not going to medical school. And now my wife was divorcing me because I lacked ambition. It looked like a reoccurrence of the same old problem. Once again, I was unable to live up to the expectations of others. But this time, I was not disappointed in myself. Their dreams and my dreams were different. I would never confuse the two of them again.
You see, I'm so loyal to people. Maybe I'm loyal to a fault, but I'm so loyal to people that when somebody's slightly disloyal to me, I look upon it as a great act of horror.
Then how are you different than you were 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, I used to say, and in fact, I think I said in my first book that, and maybe this was foolish, but I really meant it, that someday I'd like to maybe lose everything for a period of time to see who's loyal and who's not loyal. And I found out a lot of things.
Did you find out who's loyal and not loyal?
I tell you what, and you can't guess it. You can't predict it. Some of the people that were least loyal to me are people that I think I would have treated them differently. I think I would have treated different groups differently. I would have wiped the floor with the guys that weren't loyal, which I will now do, which is great. You know, I love getting even with people. But I will wipe.
You love getting even.
Oh, absolutely. You don't believe in the eye for the eye? You do.
No.
I know you well enough. I think you do. But anyway,
But tell me, I mean, you're going to get even with some people.
Yeah, I know, if given the opportunity, I will get even with some people that are disloyal to me.
There are a lot of good ideas.
There are a lot of good ideas.
There are a lot of good ideas. Translating a good idea into a great product is unbelievably hard. There are so many details.
If I can speak to myself in 5 years, I hope that I'd be able to tell myself, you've made the most of it. You've squeezed the most out of life, and look back, smile, and savor what's to come.
I knew nothing when I got started. Right, I mean, you have to remember, I was 19 years old when I started Facebook, right? So, I mean, probably like the same age or younger than most of you guys. And I knew nothing about business at all. So many things go wrong when you're starting a company, and often I think people ask, what mistakes should you avoid making? And my answer to that question is don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up.
We're playing a character.
Yeah.
And at any time, you could decide to turn the page and write a new chapter in your life and become a whole new character. There just became a point where I'm like, you know what? I am confident. I am stronger. I am funnier. I just started to step into this person. I started to write a new character. I believe there's a man I was born to be. I believe there's a man or woman you were born to be. So kind of the ultimate version of you. And I have this hallucination no matter what your faith life is. That's completely your personal belief. But I think at the end of life, you're going to meet that person you were capable of becoming. I really do believe that. I believe you're introduced to this person, the ultimate version of you, the places you could have gone, the differences you could have made, the memories you could have had, the moments of your life. And to me, bliss, heaven, if you will, is meeting that person and we're identical twins. And hell, and a typical terrible way to die would be to never be anywhere near close, to be total strangers with that person.
Work hard. You're going to need some luck, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. And if it doesn't work out, that's not the end of the world. I just don't have anything in common with people that sit there and say, oh my God, it was terrible. So it's water over the dam, under the bridge. Get on with it and start another business the next day or another career. And be honest, look in a mirror and say, why didn't it work out? Well, it wasn't the skill set, or I didn't have the temperament for it, or I was in the wrong place, wrong time. Maybe I can afford to do it again. Maybe I can't. But people aren't honest with themselves.
People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except for I hope suffering happens to you. Today, I use the phrase pain and suffering inside our company with great glee. And I mean that. Boy, this is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering. And I mean that in a happy way, because you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of them. And greatness is not intelligence. Greatness comes from character, and character is informed out of smart people. It's formed out of people who suffered.
Our obsessions become our possessions. What you obsess about most regularly, you will eventually possess in your life. The challenge for most people is that we obsess on the things we're fearful of, what we don't have, what we're worried about. And then we end up possessing those things over and over again, rather than programming ourselves to become obsessed with what we want, what our dreams are, what we believe we deserve. When we become obsessed about those things, long term, we end up possessing those things.
So what is a poverty or poor mindset versus a wealth or abundance mindset? What do they both encompass?
The beginning for me is a poverty mindset is when you believe you're poor, or you believe that you are the cause of the situation you're in. I never believed I was poor. I just believed our current situation was poor. So I got to a point where I didn't want to be in that situation anymore. But there was nothing wrong with me. My mom loved me. I was a good human being. I just had to get out of the situation.
There's no substitute for hard work. The best time you're ever going to have is when it starts out just you, and it'd be great if it grows into a wonderful, big, profitable company. But you're never going to be happier and more satisfied than you are in the first year or so of getting your business going, because you do every single thing. You sweep up when everybody goes home. You're the first one in. You plug in the coffee pot, so when your people come in, they have hot coffee and can get straight to work. You work through lunch, set an example for them, but there's no substitute for hard work. People say luck, yes, but the harder you work, the luckier you get.
I am a nice guy until somebody starts complaining to me about how hard they have it. And I have to tell you, nothing pisses me off more than people that complain. Or people that have this feeling that life owes them something. Life doesn't owe you anything. Never complain.
I don't know what it is, men, women, you have to understand that you're going into a huge lifestyle change. And I tell people it's not for everybody. Don't do it if you don't have the stamina to get kicked around and driven into the ground and get up and do it again and beaten up by people that tell you, this is not kumbaya stuff. This is hardcore stuff.
What's the best piece of advice he ever gave you? In a world that's changing so quickly, the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk.
Is it some kind of a surprise that the economy goes up and the economy goes down? If that's as obvious as it sounds, how could any responsible enterprise be run by executives that don't take that truth into account? And what are we to do when there's a downturn? Burn the place down? Fire everybody? How illogical and immature is that? That's exactly what happens in most businesses. A bunch of dimwits get in a room and start cutting costs. You can take waste out of a business, but once you get that puppy down to where it should be, the next buck you save, you've just changed the promise you made to the public. And then you lose your credibility and you lose your business. Capital structures got to be able to anticipate the certainty of business cycles and the loss of profitability.
Apple's strategy is really simple. What we want to do is we want to put an incredibly great computer in a book that you can carry around with you that you can learn how to use in 20 minutes. We don't know how to do that now. It's impossible technically. So we had three options. One was to do nothing. The second one was to put a piece of garbage computer in a book. And we can do that, but our competitors are doing that, and so we don't need to do that. The third option was to design the computer that we want to put into the book eventually, even though we can't put it into the book now. And right now, it fits in a bread box, and it's $10,000, and it's called Lisa. The next thing we will do is we will find a way to put it in a shoebox and sell it for like $2,500. And that'll be the next step. And finally, we'll find a way to get it in a book and sell it for under $1,000. When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
There's a funny thing about people that make their own money for the first time. They have an attitude towards money that's different. Hell, I made this money myself, and I'll spend it as I damn please. First generation wealth has a great tendency towards consumer spend. Look at China. There is no old money in China, and they want the good life. Got a Rolex store in the Wynn, Macau. Does $150,000 a day. On the other side of the border, you can get a copy of one of these for 1 penny on a dollar. And it looks exactly the same. But they don't want the Lindy. They want the real thing. They want the Birka bag. They want the Kelly bag. And that's the explanation of what's going on in China. It's also the explanation of Brazil and Mexico and Chile.
Success is a 5-step process. First, you have to know what you're going after, your goals. Then you encounter your problems. Number 2, you encounter your problems on the way to your goals. Then you have to diagnose those problems and get at the root causes of those problems. And that might be a weakness that you have or a weakness that somebody has, but you better get at the root cause. And then once you got the root cause, then you can design something. You write down on your to-do list, I got to do this thing. That's number 4, design. And then number 5, you got to do it. Yes, you just can't say, okay, now I'm going to do that thing and not push through to results. And if you could do that over and over, that's a formula for success. You only have to do those 5 things, you got the formula for success.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
The only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you. And then you'll forget they exist. Success is the only revenge. He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge. When you win, that's when you become so big that they shrink into irrelevance. You cast a shadow that no one even can see them behind you.
The greatest people are self-managing. They don't need to be managed. If once they know what to do, they'll go figure out how to do it. And they don't need to be managed at all. What they need is a common vision. And that's what leadership is. What leadership is having a vision, being able to articulate that so the people around you can understand it, and getting a consensus on a common vision.
Everybody on earth gets happier if they live within their means. I believe that what buys happiness is living within the money you make. So if you make $49,000 a year, you can be remarkably happy if you have humility and you live a $37,000 a year life. If you live a $90,000 a year life and get into debt because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, even though you're not capable of making that kind of money, you're gonna get hurt. Live within your means and you get very happy.
You think that I know a lot. I want to make clear, like from the first line of my first book, the reality is that I'm a dumb shit, and that whatever I know is only a small percentage of what I need to know in order to be successful. And so whatever success I've had in life has had to do more with my knowing how to deal with not knowing than anything I know.
Big leaders only have to do a few things. Big leaders have to identify the big ideas. They have to enforce tough execution against those big ideas. And they need to grow the next generation of leaders. That's really it.
So what I would tell the kid is like, look, dude, your first target needs to be the top 1%. No breaks, no vacations, no cars, no watches until you get in the 1% club.
If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, okay, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. See how you'd like to live your life. See yourself living it that way. Take that picture and describe it. Write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. Start to read it and read it and read it and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. A lot of people will laugh at this and say, that doesn't make any sense. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it.
So our thoughts control our actions?
Our thoughts control our feelings.
Okay.
Our feelings control our actions.
I've been happy broke, and I've been happy rich, and happy rich is way better. I'll just tell you that. I have been happy when I was broke. I've been happy broke. I've had a loving family. But I can't create happiness for a whole lot of other people without any money.
I feel so strongly that the reason I'm here is I dreamed big dreams. I dreamed the kind of dreams that other people said would not be possible. I'm also living proof. This isn't a Hollywood movie. I come literally from the other side of the tracks. If you saw where I grew up and we took a picture of it, the neighborhood, the setting, you'd say it's impossible that someone could come from there and get here. But it is possible. And not to sound too trite, it's possible because we still live in a country where the entrepreneurial spirit is so alive and so well. And anyone in this country, if you dream big and surround yourself with great people and leave your ego at the door and share success with others and have a little luck along the way, you can do anything. But there will be people along the way, and I remember this, who will say to you, you know, you're dreaming too big. It's not possible. Those things just can't happen. Don't allow anyone, friend, family, acquaintance, teachers, whoever it is, don't allow anyone to tell you that what you are dreaming for yourself and your family is not possible. It is possible. Don't be one of those people 20 years from now are going to be walking around in a 9-to-5 job, miserable and angry and bitter because you let your dreams get away from you because you did not believe strongly enough in yourself and what was possible. Don't allow that to happen. This is an unbelievable time. And I can't encourage you enough to continue to think that things are possible and that your dreams can come true.
Kind of how the global ecosystem comes together.
You will have many opportunities to reinvent yourself, and so so I think it's worthwhile taking risks and trying to do something you're really excited by. And if the first attempt you don't do it, you can try again, and things tend to work out in the long run. In Silicon Valley, part of the reason so many people start up a company is starting up a company and even having failed, you can wear it like a badge of honor, right? And I think that's important. Culturally, risk is rewarded. I remember when I started working at Google, if I went and people were discussing ideas, the other people who heard the ideas try to build on those ideas. They encourage you. So it's a culture of optimism. It's a culture of risk taking, and I think that's really important. So
somebody taught me a long time ago a very valuable lesson, which is if you do the right things on the top line, the bottom line will follow. And what they meant by that was if you get the right strategy, if you have the right people, and if you have the right culture at your company, you'll do the right products, you'll do the right marketing, you'll do the right things logistically and in manufacturing and distribution. And if you do all those things right, the bottom line will follow.
I don't know, there are very few people, you look at the most successful people in the world, I know very few of them that haven't had a major failure. If you read through they're not the financially most successful people. If you read through the Forbes billionaire list and you read their stories, they've had failed businesses and they've lost everything and they've hung on they've almost died holding on to the ledge. What's his name? The guy on CBS and Sumner Fires. Sumner Redstone. So there are lots of examples of people who had huge adversity. And I think it's how you deal with adversity that determines your ultimate success, as opposed to how you deal with success that determines your ultimate success.
They say your network equals your net worth. Your ability to move this planet, to change things, to get investors, funding, money is determined by who you know. If you got a money problem, I guarantee it's got something to do with your network. Okay, if you're having marriage problems, I assure you with 100% certainty, if you're having marriage problems, there's somebody in your network that believes in marriage problems. If you're having kitty problems, not kitty, meow. I'm talking about if you got problems with your kids, it's because your network is having problems with chilling. If you have a time problem, I don't have enough time. I can't find enough time. I'm working too hard. I never have time. I can't find time to work out. I can't find time for the kids. I can't find time for the marriage. You have a network of people that have time problem.
Fundamental connection to doing business is basically relationships. People really, if you really think about it, people want to do business with people they like. I mean, every now and then you'll do a deal with the devil, but you don't really like the devil, but you do it sometime. But you'd really much rather do business with somebody you like, somebody who shares your value, somebody who is committed to the same objectives you are, somebody who's willing to work as hard as you are. And when you find those people, those are the people you want to bring under your tent to be part of your business objective. And you've got to do that by sort of presenting yourself in a way that people clearly understand that you are committed to creating value. Business people want to create value. It doesn't mean they don't want to have fun. Doesn't mean that they don't want to be involved in other kinds of things. But if you can go to someone and convince them that I can help you create value, and by your ability to articulate that and to communicate it, and to give people the impression that you will work as hard as they will to create that value, you're going to find people wanting to come to you. And so for me, it's sort of been like that throughout my whole career, is being able to say to people and talk to people in a way that convinces them that I am going to do everything I can to help make what they want to achieve a success, and by extension, I'm going to be a success. When I started BET, the guy who invested in BET is a guy named John Maloney. He was at that time the operator of the third largest cable company in Denver, Colorado. And he kept investing money into BET without taking additional equity. And as BET became a big success, I ended up with about 75% of the company. He ended up with about 25% of the company. And one day I asked him, I said, John, you put over $500,000 in BET on a startup. You put it in as debt. You didn't put it in as equity, which would have given him greater ownership. I said, why'd you do it that way? And he said, Bob, I always knew you would work harder for yourself than you would for me. And it was that kind of commitment. So if you can convey to people that you're willing to work hard for them and for yourself, you've got a business partner. You're connecting the dots.
My approach in business, in my personal life, in a management role, is extreme candor. And I think that if you live that way, you'll run the risk of offending various people over time, but you'll have much better relationships because, if you tell people the truth, first of all, it's not typical. A lot of people, in the interest of politeness or fear of confrontation, or it's just uncomfortable, don't speak the truth. And that goes for people on boards. There are lots of examples of super talented people sitting around the room as an institution is failing. Think of all the banks during the crisis where people were not willing to confront the CEO. So I'm willing to confront the CEO, but I'm completely candid with him about his successes and his failures.
You famously started Spanx with $5,000 in your bank account. What was the hardest part about getting Spanx off the ground?
The hardest part about getting Spanx off the ground was definitely in the very beginning, when you first have an idea as an inventor and you've thought of something that doesn't exist and you want to bring it into the world. There were two things that were happening. One was my own self-doubt was a really hard part of the journey, and then the beginning of all the manufacturers that I was having to cold call.
Has been around for more than a decade, and so is NetSuite. NetSuite's been around longer than Salesforce, and people are saying, well, that's cloud computing. Google's now cloud computing. Everyone's cloud computing. My objection to cloud computing was everyone simply looks around, like I've always been doing cloud computing. It's like 10 years ago, but cloud computing, the term's only 4 years old. But like everything's in the cloud now, my objection is the absurdity.
You don't like it?
No, it's not that I don't like the idea of it's this nonsense. The guys say, oh, it's in the cloud. Well, what is that? Then you say, are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. If there's no hardware or software in the cloud, we are so screwed. But it's not water vapor. All it is a computer attached to a network. What are you talking about? What do you think Google runs on?
I'll ask you.
What do you think they run on water vapor? Cloud. They have databases. How about the next question? And operating systems and memory and microprocessors and the internet. And all of a sudden, it's none of that. It's the cloud. What are you talking about? Now, the VCs, I love the VCs. Oh, we only fund, is that cloud? Oh yeah, whoa. Microsoft Word, change internet to cloud. Mass change, give it back to these nitwits on Sand Hill Road.
This is the millionaire mindset.
It's just money. It's made up. Pieces of paper with pictures on it so we don't have to kill each other just to get something to eat.
Rich people's mindset, the millionaire mindset, the real, most important millionaire mindset is this. You think and you know and you have complete confidence in your own ability to create. You know that you have the ability to create money. You have confidence that you have the ability to create money anytime you need. With the help of the universe.
There's nothing wrong with being broke, homie. It's only wrong with someone being poor, because poor is a mindset. Broke is just a temporary situation that you would fix. But being poor, that's a mind state.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
Poor thinking habits keeps most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. As you think, so you become. How awesome.
There's an important phrase you use here. I think it's time you all learned it. Act as if. You understand what that means? Act as if you are the president of this firm. Then you're a millionaire. It's just that simple.
Let me tell you what rich people do. Rich people give themselves pep talks when no one's around. When they're by themselves, they say things like, I'm a winner. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I am going to win. I'm going to make this happen.
Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them.
What happens if I don't?
Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back.
Stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. See you at the top because the bottom is too crowded, but we never look down on anybody unless we're willing to help them up. Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't.
Successful people are always too busy doing what the other guys are still talking about. Successful people are always willing to do what the other guys are not willing to do.
Your friends are shit. They tell me you made 25 grand last month. They're not gonna believe you. F them. Parents don't like the life you lead? You, mom and dad. See how it feels when you're making their excess payments.
Set a goal to become a millionaire. Here's why. For what it will make of you to achieve it. Set a goal that'll make you stretch that far. For what it will make of you to achieve it.
Today, it's easier to make money than ever before. You are on your way to having your first $1 million in the bank and all of your bills paid.
Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development.
Why is it that people are successful? It's simply this. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Why? It's because the rich think about wealth and affluence all the time. And what do the poor think about? The poor think about lack, loss, and limitation, risk, danger, fear, failure all the time.
Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich.
You become what you think about. And here's the interesting thing. You can choose. Choose what you think about. Choose. With your business, choose what you're aiming at. With your leadership, choose what you're aiming at. With your team, choose. Help them choose. The act of intentionality is so freaking powerful. It's unbelievable. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. I am amazed at the things we don't do because we have this little tiny bit of fear that offsets all the other data and all the other evidence in our life that causes us to not go do something. Because we just don't believe. And it's weird. When you start to believe, you become what you think about.
Never say you can't do it. Say, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like, there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really practice. And then you find out if you can do it or not, or how well you can do it.
Money is not our issue. The mindset of money is our issue. If you don't have a mindset for money, then trading stocks and options wouldn't be the game for you because you're not going to know how to manage your risk. You're not going to have the discipline to be able to stay out of the market when necessary. You're not understanding money in its totality. So when you got the mindset of money coupled with the skill of making money, this is what equals a wealthy person. This is what allows a person to be able to build wealth throughout their generations.
You cannot have what you're not willing to become vibrationally. If you do get it, you'll lose it. This is why people that win the lottery, they lose everything. They'll get a modicum of success but can't hold on to it because inside they weren't vibrationally aligned. They really hadn't become it. So you can temporarily manipulate and get things, but to have it completely, you have to lift your vibration and become that.
You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got. I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development. Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly, so you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear. Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Incredible.
Money does not exist. Did you know that? I learned that years ago from a very wealthy man. I was free from money that day. He says money is an idea. It's in your head. It's an idea. You are supposed to work for purpose, not money. If you find your purpose,
money will find you. If you're not in your purpose, you haven't found your purpose, you're still working for money. Money's your boss.
Think and Grow Rich. If you can focus on building something for you, your life will be way better. So I started down that journey because at the end of the day, thoughts are things. What you think about truly becomes your reality. One of the most magnificent things that I've discovered in the 46 years I've been on this earth is that genuinely whatever reality you create in your mind, you can eventually walk towards and exist it. That's amazing because I believe we're created and I believe that we can co-create. A lot of people think that's hocus pocus, but like my mentor said, he said, no, it's hocus focus. Wow. So if you focus on it for real, like really focus on a particular destination that you want to get to, and then you're willing to put in the work every day, consistently, eventually you can get there.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. When you believe, everything is possible.
What come out your mouth is what's gonna come back to you. It's the law of attraction. All men are dogs. You finna meet all of them. I never get nobody. You're not. I can't lose this weight. You sure ain't. I'm gonna get fit this year. Strong possibility. I'll never be rich. Promise you won't. I'm gonna be rich one day. Strong possibility. It's how it works, man. It is the law of attraction. The moment you say it, you begin to change. It's the process. If you think big, you'll be big. If you think small, you'll be small.
A negative mental attitude can bring you nothing but failure. Remember always, you are where you are and what you are because of your mental attitude in which you relate yourself to other people. Remember also, your mental attitude is the one and the only thing over which you have complete control. Success is something which has to be planned, and success is something which has to be earned.
Anything that you can hold in your mind on a continuing basis, you can be, have, or do. You will become what you think about. Your only job is to make a very, very clear decision about the person you want to be, the things that you want to have, the goals that you want to accomplish, and then make sure that you feed your mind continuously, day by day, week by week, hour by hour, with words, pictures, images, ideas, thoughts, and information consistent with your goals and your ideals.
You cannot have wealth in your material world until you first visualize the wealth in your mind.
If you get a picture of what you really want, then it's just a matter of time until you have it. They keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. So all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not.
About 5 years ago, I met a wise and wealthy man who had spent his entire life studying success. And he'd reached a clear conclusion concerning the reason for success in life and especially in business. He's dead now, but I'll never forget what he told me. He said the key to success was to set a goal and then to stay with it until you achieve success in at least one important thing. He said that your subconscious mind will then accept that success experience and store it as a pattern, like a template. And then from then on, your subconscious will drive you and direct you and guide you to repeat the pattern of success in other things that you attempt. Another way of saying it is that nothing succeeds like success. Psychologists have demonstrated that achievement brings you a natural high. Once you've experienced your first great success, then not only are you unconsciously programmed to repeat it, but nothing else will ever give you the same wonderful sense of satisfaction.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Start working for yourself. The sky's the limit.
What is the one thing that people who made $1 million that they did that I guarantee you are not doing? It is called work. They worked 12 to 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week on making money. They had an obsession with making money. That's all they thought about. They had singular focus. They had singleness of purpose. And I guarantee you don't do that because you want to live a balanced life. Well, I'm sorry, but people who succeed in life don't live a balanced life. It is a fantasy. It is a myth. If you say, I want to live a balanced life and make millions, welcome to Fantasy Island.
Is there any better feeling than being locked in? No. Like when you are locked in and you are, you're taking, and you're in a rhythm and every day you're knocking it down. You never miss a step. Like you go to bed feeling great, you wake up feeling inspired, you go in the gym with energy, right? Like, that's the best way to live it.
But I promise you, bro, you have so much potential. If you literally just took it and put it in one place, you could literally change your life.
Truly believe that if you put your 100% effort into something, then you can't lose. God knows if you deserve the results. And if you truly try, you truly commit yourself 100% to something, I don't see how you can fail it. But I don't think you can. That I completely refuse. You can't fail at it.
You said you were going to do it this year, but you didn't. So what's going to be different about this year? What kind of person are you going to actually become in order to achieve what the you want to achieve?
It is easier to make money than ever before. You can make more money faster today than ever before in history. Why aren't more people making money? Wealthy people show initiative. Broke people don't.
The faster you are, the more money you will make. Your bank account is actually a reflection of how fast you move. I was sitting with one of my mentors, Bill Perkins. I asked him, Bill, you're worth a lot of money. You've made hundreds of millions of dollars. Why do you think you've been so successful? And he kind of looked at me and he thought for a second. And he said, I move really fast. By the time somebody else has thought about an idea, taken it to investment committee, I've already started, made 3 mistakes, and found a better way.
Now, y'all look money hungry, and that's good. Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't have any.
A broke person thinks that there's a limit to opportunity and a limit to the amount of money out there, that there's a finite resource of money. They think, I just don't have opportunities. I've missed the opportunities. There's this limiting belief around money that poor or broke people have. Rich people, on the other hand, understand this, that money is a renewable resource, which means if they lose all their money today, it's no problem. They can create more. Do you understand this? Do you think that you can create as much money as you want? You don't, do you?
Working jobs we hate, so we can buy shit we don't need.
When you really want something, just in my life experience and seeing other people, seeing myself, seeing other people that like made stuff happen, it's like, man, when you really want something, you gonna find a way, ultimately.
Every single day is about winning that battle against yourself.
And it might not be today or next year or 5 years or 10 years, but this thing takes priority and precedent over all other things.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better.
When you realize you have to make this shit work or you're falling on your face, it's a different kind of grind, a different kind of mentality, a different kind of person, a different side of you that you've never seen before that comes out when you go all in.
Everybody has the desire to do something, but they don't have they don't know how to really complete the process of dedicating themselves and having the discipline to do it.
This shit is worth more money than anything ever because you can make so much money off of this, bro. Look at me crazy, call me crazy in the beginning, but once I'm making millions of dollars, playing video games, having fun.
We are creative beings, and we can create money. Not that we can, we actually do. That's how money manifests in people's life. They create it. And when you have this mindset, the universe will then present to you and have bubble up ideas about how to make money.
Let's consider money butterflies. So let's say you want to catch butterflies. Butterflies equate to dollars. There's 2 ways that you can gather butterflies. The first way is build a net, right? Build a massive net. It doesn't matter how optimized the net is. It doesn't matter how sophisticated it is. You always have to swing in order to catch butterflies. That's most people hustling. That's where most people start. But you need to develop a second skill set, which is how to attract butterflies. How do you attract butterflies? By building a garden.
Changing your psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire.
There is all the money that everybody needs and wants waiting there for them.
The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank.
You have to change the way you think.
The number one thing that's keeping you poor is your mouth, what you say. You see, what you say is what you get. Your tongue is a creative force. Words have power, more power than you could ever imagine. Every word that comes out of your mouth has 100 to 1,000 times more power than a thought. If you believe that what you say will happen, you will get whatever you say.
Listen to me. Rich people think different. So what I'm gonna put in your head today is a rich people concept, so you can get to understand it. The only difference between successful people and not is just how they think. Rich people think different. Quit letting people tell you you gotta get qualified in another program. You don't need another program to be successful. You need to change the way you think.
How would an abundant person think? Write it down, dude, and fire and wire those thoughts in your brain. Install the hardware. Keep doing it with attention and intention. It becomes a new voice in your head. It becomes a software program. Then say, okay, how am I going to be in my life today? What would an abundant person, how would they behave? And before you reach for your cell phone and start scrolling through your social media, close your eyes and rehearse in your mind how that person would walk, how they would breathe, how they would smile, how they would greet people, how they would be on Zoom calls, how would they be in traffic, how would they be at dinner. And the act of closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing the act, if you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between the real life experience and what you're imagining.
Say no to the paycheck. Paycheck make you poor because they make a slave mindset, not a master mindset.
Make up your mind. That's this idea of you got to be realistic, that you got to be logical is a bunch of nonsense. You don't have to be logical at all. I've been totally illogical many times, and it's helped me earn a lot of money.
When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances. Because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life.
You are on your way to making your fortune. You can do it. You have greatness within you. Remember, you were born to win. You were engineered for success. You were designed for accomplishment, and you were endowed with the seeds of greatness.
Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big, and they think of ways of getting there, not of ways of not getting there.
There is all the money that everybody needs and wants waiting there for them. And there's only one reason it's not in their lives, and that's because they're stopping it from coming into their lives.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How are we stopping it?
By thinking we don't have enough, by thinking we don't deserve it, by maybe being programmed the way you were, that my family didn't have very much, you know, I'm destined to not have very much, kind of born on the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing, or all of those thoughts, to believe that we only get money through our job. If you believe that that's the only way you're going to get money, that's the only way that you're going to get money. But you can get money from unbelievable, unlimited different ways.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Ain't nobody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, mama, you must be right. No, mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry. He showed it to you.
Know what you want and believe that you can and will get it. Give expressions of gratitude many times daily for having received that which you want, even before you actually get physical possession of it. Possession starts first in the mind. But please remember this. Remember, there can be no application of applied faith without action. When overtaken by defeat, as you may be many times, remember that man's faith is tested many times before he is crowned with final victory. And accept your defeat as nothing more than a challenge to keep on trying.
But I'm starting to realize, bro, when you dance to your own rhythm, when you play by your own rules, and you live it through your vision, that's a perfect indication you're doing it correctly. Because they literally don't see what you see. They don't see it. They don't see what you see. They don't see as far as you see. And they don't understand why you see what you see. They don't even understand where it's coming from internally. They don't. I didn't get that back then. I just knew I had the desire for more. I knew I had a vision that I couldn't ignore.
There is no end to what you're capable of doing. Once you get into this vibration, you'll start attracting things. Opportunity is just going to pop up everywhere you go.
Delayed gratification, which means putting off enjoying the fruits of your labor for a period of time. It's temporary so that you're focused in on what you're doing. This is the one thing that people always did that people that are not successful don't do. They're obsessed with making money. They're obsessed with their mission, their purpose, their idea, their project. And it's all they do. It's all they think about. They eat, drink, and sleep this obsession. They work on it, but it's not work to them. They absolutely love the journey because they understand the journey is actually the reward.
What would be the outcome? The experiment of being abundant would be that you would have to feel that feeling. It's so good at doing it with your eyes closed. You got to do it with your eyes open. Now, why? Because if you're feeling the feelings of your emotions, of your future, you're no longer looking for them.
You can do whatever you make up your mind to do. Believe, and you shall receive. Will you please remember that your life is exactly what you make it by your own mental attitude.
Listen to this. You do not have to be the smartest cat in town to earn a lot of money. As a matter of fact, you can be pretty dumb and earn a lot of money. I was pretty dumb and I was earning a lot of money. So when people tell me you got to be smart to earn a lot of money, I know that's not true because I knew I wasn't very smart and I was earning a lot of money.
If you complain about money, if you judge people who have it, if you rush when you're in lack, if you cheat when you don't have what you need, an abundant person doesn't do that. You got to look at that and say, I got to break these habits. Yes. Oh my God, if I truly want to be abundant, I can't act this way. Now here's the big one. If I truly want to be a new personality that's in a new personal reality, I can't take lack with me. I can't take unworthiness. I can't take the story that goes along with it with my parents or my grandparents or my ex or whatever. That story has to end.
When people look at the money that they're making and then the amount of effort that it takes them to make that money, they're like, you know what? At least I worked hard for my money. Bro, money gets printed out of thin air. You need to figure out how to make as much of it for the least amount of effort as possible. Why? Because there's dudes out there that are printing it. I don't think you understand. They're literally printing it. Printing it, and you're out here working for it, slaving away. So you need to ask yourself, how can I get as much money as possible for the least amount of effort? So you need to start a business. You need to be able to understand how to arbitrage. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to market. These basic skills, because the assumption that you're going to find security in a job is a fallacy. They can fire you for any of a million reasons tomorrow. Your skills are what's going to determine if you stay afloat or not, if you have the ability to make money. The job doesn't count. The idea of having a side hustle that you're not actually fully invested doesn't count. You need to be focused on making money. Money is the name of the game. You have to take care of it.
You are a creative force. Get the millionaire mindset. If you don't have the millionaire mindset, that money is a renewable resource and that you can create, and it is God, the universe, which is the source of your supply that gives you the power to give birth. If you don't have that mindset, then you're going to have a struggle making your first million and making any large amounts of money. Money is a renewable resource. You can create money.
Now let me give you a description of the one thing which represents the main difference between a successful person and a failure. Please listen carefully and think for yourself as I speak, because failure to recognize the truth I am about to give you is the starting point of most failures. Successful people in all occupations, all professions, and all callings have one trait which distinguishes them from the failures. It is their capacity for belief. The failures see the hole in the donut, but do not see the donut around the hole. The successes see the hole also, but they see the donut around the hole.
Changing your psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. We're going to go back to childhood and we're going to go to the future. What conversations do you remember your family having when you were young about money? What phrases? Here's some examples that might sound familiar. We can't afford it. Here's the consequence of that. This person, hopefully they end up in a pretty nice job. Maybe they've done well. They have some decent amount of money.
What will fail? Billionaires look at their experience and say, this did not work. What can I learn from it? You have to change the way you think. Think about it.
There's been many periods in my life that I've had internal growth, which was this: work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work. Boom. Just got paid. I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing and then the bubble popped. And then boom, it looks like you were doing it all wrong.
You want to make money? The key to making money is serving the most amount of people. The more people you serve, the more money you make. People always say, athletes make so much money. Doctors should make more money than athletes. But I'm like, wait, how many patients you got? How many patients you got? The doctor got 30 patients. Well, you got 30 patient money. But how many people are enjoying watching LeBron play? Hundreds of millions. So he gets hundreds of millions of dollars. I said, dude, don't ever get it twisted. You serve more people, you get more props, you get more money.
Another way to get wealth is through servanthood. Listen very carefully. The more people you serve, the richer you become. The more people that you can serve and the more needs you can meet, the more successful you become.
If you're going to put your effort into something and you're going to work on something, you cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. I'm going to write a book. I can't afford to think that it won't sell. I'm going to build a business. I can't afford to think that I'm not going to get any clients.
Do not accept from life or anyone else anything you do not desire. And remember that Mahatma Gandhi proved himself to be more powerful than the great British military forces by this simple method of passive resistance. Keep your mind eternally engaged in thinking of that which you desire most, your major purpose in life, so no time will be left for you to waste on thinking of that which you do not want.
The more I listen to this, the better my life gets. If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Write out this sentence and paste it in a prominent place where you work and on a mirror where you see yourself in your home. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Remember also that you are the only person who can provide you with a positive mental attitude. What are you going to do about it? On your answer to this question rests your entire future.
Opportunities in life are like trains. There's always another one coming. There's not like this is the last opportunity that will ever present itself to you in this lifetime. No, there are an abundance of opportunities, tons of opportunities. There's huge amounts, and if you don't take advantage of this because of various conditions and circumstances, we can. There'll be another one down the road. This is the confidence or knowing this, that you can and will have tons of opportunities in this lifetime. You can't take advantage of every single one. Take advantage of the ones you want.
Oh, it's so easy to make money. You know this. Online, anybody can go out and make 10 grand a month. Literally. I was talking with a guy in Singapore, probably worth a couple $1 billion. I was having a conversation with him. And he's like, you know what the biggest issue is between the elite and people that make no money? I'm like, what? Financial literacy. He said, most people are financially illiterate. And it's a language. And I'm like, what do you mean it's a language? He's like, yes, finance is the language of the elite. Self-education will never betray you. Self-education will never betray you. You have to sit down. You don't like to read books. Nobody gives a the marketplace doesn't care.
In order for us to change a belief or perception about ourselves and our lives, we have to make a decision with such firm intention
that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. And your body literally has to respond to your mind. Examine your personality and examine your personal reality. Change your personality, change your personal reality. Don't make it be about abundance. Make it about becoming abundant by overcoming the person who's not abundant.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Definiteness of purpose. By now you should know what you want most from life, and you should have a plan for getting it. Going the extra mile. This is a must if your major purpose is anything above mediocrity.
Wake up every day. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your dream? It's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember it, right? So if you're going to remember it, you got to keep it alive in your mind. How do you keep it alive in your mind? You disconnect from your environment. You close your eyes. You play music in the background. Don't be thinking about what's going to happen in your day. You already know what's going to happen. Don't think what happened yesterday. You already know that. Get in the present moment and say, who do I want to be when I open my eyes? Who do I want to be today? What would greatness look like? How would one day, one shot, one lifetime, what would an abundant person do?
Don't let losers and brokies sit and say to you, oh, all our graves are the same, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You were not born to suffer and die without being remembered or leaving a mark on this planet. You weren't born for that. You were born to do something great and to be remembered. You were born to leave offspring, which are so fantastic, raised in your image, that you, by proxy, are discussed into eternity. Your bloodline becomes synonymous with competence and capability. That's why you were born.
What you say is what you get. The tongue is a creative force. What do you say when you talk to yourself? Do you call yourself names, or do you give yourself a pep talk? Wealthy people give people pep talks. If you do these things, you can be on your way to putting $1 million cash in the bank. And I have to tell you, making money today is easier than ever before in history. It's not harder, it's easier.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You have to go. It's here. It's here.
The person who's living in lack is waiting for their wealth to feel abundant. They're waiting for their success to feel empowered. They're waiting for their healing to feel gratitude. They're waiting for their new relationship to feel love. They're waiting for the mystical experience to feel awe. That's the Newtonian model of reality, of cause and effect. Waiting for that event to happen to take away this separation or lack. Nothing wrong with it. It's the way most people create. But what we've discovered is actually something else. The moment you feel gratitude, your healing begins. The moment you feel worthy and abundant, you're generating wealth. The moment you're empowered, you are moving towards your success. The moment you're in love with yourself and you're in love with life, you'll create an equal. The moment you are in awe of life, you're going to have a mystical experience. And so that's causing an effect.
If you want it, don't just think you want it. Go out and want it. But you're not looking like you want it. You look like you're feeling sorry for yourself. And nobody wants anybody that's feeling sorry for themselves.
Isn't it strange that so often people have to be cut down by failure and defeat before they learn that they have minds capable of mastering all of their problems? Just remember this about adversities. Nothing is ever so bad or so unpleasant that it may not yield some benefit if we keep a positive mental attitude toward the experience and make it a habit to look for that seed of an equivalent benefit.
What is money? Define it. What is money? You go in, you give your time, your energy, your attention towards a task, and you get paid. What is those 15 pounds that you're getting for that hour worth? Your time? No, not your time. What is it worth? Where does it come from? Who gives that thing value? It has no value. That money isn't real. So what you need to do is you need to create money, and you create money by elevating the way that you think about finances, the way that you think about business, the way that you think about working. You don't work in order to get a paycheck. You work in order to build things that create money.
Your body is so objective that it's believing it's living in that reality where you are abundant. And as long as you feel that emotion, you're not separate from it any longer. You're no longer in lack. You're no longer looking for it to occur. Say, why hasn't it happened yet? If you're feeling abundant, why would you look? The longer you're conscious of that energy, the more you draw that future to you. Nothing changes in your life until you change.
Every family deserves to have a winner. I think it should be you. But you also have to disconnect, unplug your umbilical cord from the belly button of average and plug yourself into the mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
The reason you want it so damn bad is because you know you can get it. You know you're capable. You know if you do everything right or everything that you're supposed to do, that you can achieve it. And when you know you can do it, you get pissed off when you don't have it already. And see, the problem is so many people don't think that they can do it. That's when you lose your drive. People want to talk about where's that fire. That fire is by starting it. You gotta ignite it, and that's gonna light that fire. Now you know how big this fire can get. You know how dangerous you could be. You just gotta stoke the fire every day. You gotta keep adding to it. Every time you add to it, it gets a little bigger. It gets a little more possible. It doesn't seem so crazy anymore. And after you add it enough, you see what's capable. Until one day that fire's there and it's rage, all because of a spark.
Nothing ever just happens by luck, but every effect has its definite cause, albeit we often observe effects, the causes of which we cannot isolate or understand.
Now there's three types of people in this world. Those who watch things happen, those who wonder what happened, and those who get up and make it happen. And it's easy for you to figure out what type of person you are. Do you wait to start doing it until you feel like doing it? Or do you get up and get after it until you feel like doing it? Come on now. It starts with the dream killer button. Don't hit it. What you doing? You gonna snooze yourself or choose yourself? Don't confuse yourself and lose yourself. How you gonna start your day with a nap? You ain't even done nothing yet. You had plans on waking up last night when you set that alarm. What happened since then? Your dreams got smaller, so you stay in your bed. Your life is less important than the excuses in your head. You stay in your bed, your dreams stay in your head. Choosing your feelings instead of what you said last night when that alarm was said.
The reason you don't have more money in your life is because you settle for mediocrity. Because money is a frequency. It's an energy. It's a vibration. So when you readily accept lower quality food, what you're saying to the universe is, universe, I happily accept the lowest quality for the most important thing of my life, my body. Please, universe, don't send me more money because I am happy with less than what is ultimately available to me. You see how you're creating more of what you don't want? You're not living in your authentic self. Poor in spirit people say the words, I can't afford that. Authentic self people say the words, how could I afford that? That's the shift.
I shall introduce you to your greatest asset, and with this introduction, the master key to success will be within your easy reach. I say this is your greatest asset with which you may tap and draw upon the supreme power which created you and runs this entire universe. The name of this principle is applied faith. I should know what I'm talking about because I was handicapped at birth by the four horsemen which keep most people in bondage all the days of their lives: poverty, fear, illiteracy, and superstition.
I'm gonna just tell you guys right now straight up how it works in life. There's cheat codes in life, bro. There's shortcuts in life. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you watch me because in some way you can relate to me or you look up to me in some way. Well, guess what? You can go out and get this shit too. I'm trying to tell you it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, a lot of blessings, a lot of luck. It's lucky. But at the same time, You have people that work years and years and years and years, and it finally will pay off. If you work extremely hard at whatever you got going on, something that you love to do, I swear to God, your life will change. It takes one whole year to see crazy improvement.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living, or get busy dying.
You gotta want it bad. You gotta want it so bad that it hurts. That you don't have it yet. That throughout your whole life, every day, day in and day out, you've been putting in work and you're not there yet. That should be painful. You should be punching yourself for this. I thought you wanted this shit. You tell everybody you want this shit. You wake up and you tell yourself you're gonna get it. And then you fail to live up to your own expectations every single goddamn day. You gotta want it with your heart. You gotta wake up and you gotta want it. You gotta want it as bad as you wanna breathe, as you wanna eat, as you wanna go to bed, and you can't sleep because you're tossing and turning thinking about what you gotta do tomorrow, and your goals are so far away, and you're walking and you need to sprint to even catch up, to even get close. You gotta want it so bad that nothing else matters. Anything that's not working towards that is a waste of your time. That's how bad you gotta want it. So stop wasting every single day. You gotta get up and get the fuck after it. Let's go.
You want that? Not a problem, but let's learn the formula of how to create, right? Yes. So then you'd have to feel those emotions before the experience occurred. And if you understood that you could dissociate all of your attention from this three-dimensional reality and have no attention on anything known, and understand it's the field that creates matter, not matter that emits the field, and if you could get to that place and change your energy with a clear intention and elevated emotion, your heart starts beating in this beautiful rhythm like a drum. We've measured it so many times, and when that occurs, the next thing that happens, the heart informs the brain it's safe to create now.
Everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But, he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of 2 sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. And the other is labeled, the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it. Your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you.
I can't. You can't? Are you kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to fucking slap that mother. You know what I'm saying? I can't?
Applied faith is the mental attitude wherein you may clear your mind of all fears and doubts and direct it to the attainment of whatever you desire in life.
The next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not.
Write down what you're trying to get done. Write down what you need to get done on a long-term basis and what you need to get done on a short-term basis. And write off a checklist. Force yourself. Be accountable.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, you know, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week.
It is an inevitable law of nature that you lose that which you do not use. And of course, this applies to the use of your own mind, the same as to everything else. There are no more opportunities to become rich, did I hear you say? Remember, you are given as your richest birthright the privilege of controlling your own thoughts. Therefore, treat this divine gift with the profound respect to which it is entitled, and do not allow anyone to do your thinking for you, or to influence your thinking in any manner whatsoever, except by the rules of accurate thinking I am passing on to you. Follow this procedure regardless of what people think or say about your method of thinking. If they wish to call you a cynic or a doubting Thomas, let that be their misfortune. But for your own good, go right on thinking by rules which will save you from many mistakes and tragedies throughout your life. A power which is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all of your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. When doubt creeps into your mind, remember that whatsoever a man believeth, that shall he also reap. Remember that your mental attitude is something you control outright, and you must use self-discipline until you create a thought pattern or thought habits which keep your mental attitude positive at all times. Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you everything, every circumstance which makes you what you are and where you are.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month, pero only one thing is true. I will be champion one day, I promise. I promise.
One thing is certain. No one ever becomes very wise without the aid of self-discipline. And no one ever finds peace of mind and happiness without this strict exercise of self-discipline.
Believe me, the more you put into anything, the more you're going to get out. The more you put in, the more you get out. So stop making excuses. Get out there and do whatever the it takes to reach your goals. Jesus Christ.
Pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go themselves, you put so much practice into you, you know exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. There is no get out of jail free card. This is why I say stay hard. Because when you weren't given the gifts, the only thing you can do in life is stay hard. When you put that practice in, every day you lace them up. And I mean run. It's just a metaphor for life.
Remember, faith is not something you get. Faith is something you already have. But you may be using it in reverse gear by believing in the circumstances and things you do not want, the things you fear. Faith is guidance only. It is not a power which will bring you what you want, but a power that can guide you to go after what you want and get it.
Nobody's coming to save you, big dog. Don't you get that? Your whole life has led to this point because of you. Your shitty decisions, your f***ed up habits, your poor choices have caused you to end up at this point. The only person, big dog, that's gonna get you out of this spot is you.
You need to get scared. You need to get freaked out. If you're not where you want to be right now, you need to get scared. All these people that are telling you it's not your fault, you have time, yada, yada, yada. No, you don't. Because those are the exact people that don't make it. It should freak you out that your parents aren't taken care of. It should freak you out that you don't have the life you want to have. It should freak you out that if something happened, something went wrong, you could do nothing about it because you're living paycheck to paycheck. That should freak you out.
Bro, this is not that hard. It's just hard to do. There is no secret. There is no quick fix. There is no hack. There is no path of least resistance. The quickest way for you to go from where the you are to where you want to be is that shit you're trying to avoid doing. And not only is it the fastest way, it's the only way in most cases to get where you're trying to go. I must work hard. I must have failures so I develop skills. And I must not quit so I can continue to push forward as other people fall out.
I'm playing to win. And to win, I will destroy you. I will do everything to win. And I need to win. Because when I win is my proof that I am alive. My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference.
I cannot stress this enough. The more you put into anything in life, the more you're going to get out. The more you put into building a business, the more you're going to get out of it. The more hours you spend working on anything, the more you are going to get out. Work pays.
When you don't know how you're going to win, you treat every day like a Monday and every month like a January. You got to wake up every day and put 110% to your craft because there's someone out there that's getting it more than you. So don't be acting shocked when they up and you down. The person who grinds the hardest always gets it. Hard work beats talent every time. Remember that.
You're always going to need to push yourself. You're always going to need to parent yourself.
In the end, you realize it's just you. No one is coming to save you. No one can understand you at the depth you want them to. No one can lift you up other than yourself. No one can be there for you all the time, and no one else can overcome the thoughts that are weighing you down. It was always you, and it will always ever be just you.
I
A lot of you niggas gonna spend your whole life waiting on a handout, waiting on somebody to come and put you on, waiting for some money to fall in your lap, waiting for somebody to come and save you. No, ain't nobody coming to save you, bro. Once you understand you're gonna have to do this shit on your own, you're gonna have to have your own motion, you're gonna have to have your own grind, you move different, you talk different, you apply pressure to shit different. It's different when you know nobody's coming.
No more around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. Only you can help you. Grab your balls, get a notebook, and write down what the you're going to do this year. And this is it. You're not going to have these problems. The drugs, the cigarettes. It all starts today, all right? No more excuses. That's this is the year of the soldier. We're getting back what belongs to us, and that's it.
You chase something that you believe you deserve until you get it. And it doesn't matter what happens to you. It doesn't matter how many times you get fired. It doesn't matter how many people don't believe in you. You just go until you get it. That's the point. Are you tired yet? But some of you need to get tired. You need to be tired of what's going on in your life. Get tired of your habits. Get tired of your results. Get tired of the actions that you're putting in every day. You gotta change, man, or nothing changes.
In Africa, you know from your early age that you're not counting on nobody. You're not expecting anything from anybody. It's all on you. And as long as you get that, the rest of your life get better.
Here's something a guy said recently. This dude said, there's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
Nobody's going to believe in you until you've already done it. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long time by yourself with no applause, with no awards, with nobody telling you good job. And then once you start to build something and people start to see the momentum and they start to see the result and you start doing some things, then you're going to get a little belief.
Unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not.
We had nobody anyway, mother. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the f*** up. That shit makes me nuts. We had nobody anyway, mother. Look around you. There was no team. It was you.
What's your most brutal life lesson? Nobody's coming to save you. It's also the best one. The best day of your life is when you realize nobody's coming to save you. And when you can realize that, and you can kind of cynically smile because you know you want the ball in your court, then you're well on your way to being successful. When you take full responsibility of everything, good or bad, even if you don't do the actual task, if you take responsibility fully, you're free.
There's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
The first two words of getting out of poverty are my fault. And the thing is it doesn't actually matter if it is your fault, but it is your problem. You have to solve it because no one else will. That allows you to actually do something about it.
Until you win, effort always goes unnoticed. Get used to it. No one roots for you until everyone roots for you. That's just how it works. You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like. Everything worth doing is hard. And the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem, then you solve the next one.
The bottom line is, no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You got a second to up to do it. Stay hard.
I just don't see the point.
This idea you have that there's a way to be safe, it's childish and cowardly. It stops you from experiencing anything, including anything good.
Once you've already...
And I said, okay, I'm gonna give you the most extreme example, but I just wanna see what happens, okay? What's the percentage chance of you making $1 million this year, legally, and if you don't, everyone that you love dies? And everyone's like, 100%, 100%, 1,000, 1,000%. I said, what changed? The goal didn't change. The time frame didn't change. Why you're doing it changed. Would you wake up in the morning if everyone that you love's life depended on it and be like, yeah, well, maybe I should scroll on TikTok for a little while? No, you'd be like, I'm going to take action immediately. And so it doesn't need to be like a fear of losing everybody, but what's really behind that is like, why?
So you never wanted a regular type life, right? Is that barbecues and ball games? Yeah.
If you want to feel like your life has meaning, if you want to go to bed and sleep with a clear conscience, if you want to wake up in the morning looking forward to the day, purpose is a more meaningful, more reliable category than happiness.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful.
In order to be successful, you need to have a powerful why. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to achieve great things? Why are you doing the shit that you're doing on a daily basis? Why? I ask people this on a daily basis and everybody gives me these generic answers. Because I want to help people. Because I want to give back. Because I want to live a happier life. Why? What's the why here? Why do you want to do these things? Why do you want to feel this way? Why do you want to help people? Why do you want to give back? What's the reason? If you don't have a powerful reason, you're never going to reach your goals because you don't have something that's pulling you towards them. You don't have something that's going to wake you up before your alarm goes off. That why is everything. My why is very simple. I want to be remembered forever and I want to inspire one person a day because I know what it's like to struggle with the drugs and the alcohol and feeling like you're alone in life, having nobody to help you. What's your why?
You know, when you're built different than everybody else and you have this desire for more and this desire for achievement and this desire to win, everybody else looks at you like you're and they'll tell you that too. You know, what the is wrong with you? Like, why can't you just relax? Why can't you just do this? Why can't, because I'm just not built that way, man.
How do I manage all this misery and suffering and futility? It's like, well, I need to figure out what I would have to do in order to make that clearly worthwhile. And so then you have your goal and then you think, well, I need to move towards that incrementally because I'm kind of useless and can only do so much and maybe not even that. But all I have to do is be a little bit better than my miserable self yesterday. And that'll propel you forward very rapidly.
If you don't have a strong enough why, if you don't know your compelling future, if you're not ready to climb through every brick wall, then go upstream and find that desire. Find it so when you're facing, oh my God, the money didn't come through, the bank fell through, the bank called their loan, or whatever you go through in different markets. If you're just thinking, I just want to make more money to get the Ferrari. You have a reason for that Ferrari. You have a reason for your success. You have a reason for your future. That's when you say, oh, this failed, let's try again. That didn't work, let's try again. And how many times do you have to try again? Who knows? It could be 100, right? It's the people who give up on the 60th one and don't realize that your 61st time of getting past that failure was your next level.
Well, the purpose is you. We forget that. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do some shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be do you want to feel like a little, do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could but you didn't? The main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself.
What's your rabbit? What's your rabbit? So what you focusing on each day? What you running after? What you chasing after? You may not apprehend it, but what gets you out of bed without an alarm clock? What gets you going when you don't feel like it? What makes you go get it when everybody say you can't?
If you don't know where you want to go and who you want to be, you eventually just float around and you will eventually crash.
Most people walk around with no goals, no ambition. They don't know where they're going. It's like a ship with no destination. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. Once you know where you want to go, then you direct your time,
your energy, and your attention to the execution and the achievement of that goal. It's all about intention. But most people walk around in life thinking that life is just a big fat lottery. And it's just not that case. Those that live by the lottery of life most likely end up losing.
Make up your own mission statement. What do you...
We're a platform. It doesn't work that way. It all boils down to the actual math. And so the easiest analogy is if you think about your business as a pig, and this is the world's ugliest pig, if you put lipstick on the pig, it's still a pig. And so if you put lipstick or you sprinkle some software on your lawn care business or your local service business, it's still a local service business. And one of the mistakes that I honestly see all the time is where people will take their service, say, I'll give you the service for free if you use the software, but here's the problem. The revenue will look just like service revenue. And so just because you bill through a software system, if you still have the same churn as a service business and the same margins as a service business, then they will still value you like a service business. You'll get valued based on a multiple of bottom line, which is fine. It's just not going to be a top line multiple or some big number on top of that because that's not the nature of the business you're in. And that's okay. So I think just leaning into who you are and what your business really is, rather than wasting a tremendous amount of time trying to be something you're not, would serve a huge percentage of business owners.
What do you say to all the people now that want to start a whole company? They're just like, I'm going to go buy businesses because that's what cool people do. Yeah. And I'm going to go hire an operator. You have any words for those people?
Well, right now, buying businesses is like in vogue. I don't really know why it got in vogue, but my best guess is that we have so many people retiring right now that there's just a huge supply spike, and then a lot of people who'd never made their money buying businesses selling courses on how to buy businesses. Because the thing is, and this is kind of for the audience, is like if you make your money buying businesses and you're really good at it, you don't need to sell a course. Like the best people at buying businesses buy businesses and hold them and invest. Like I think Naval said, like the best investors don't sell courses on investing. You know what I mean? Because like if you're really good at it, you don't need to. And I kind of stick by that. And so it is kind of, and there's a lot of marketing dollars that are going behind that and a lot of content being made because it's like sexy. And the idea of buying a business for no money down that makes $500,000 a year, which is absolutely possible. You totally can do that. But the thing that they miss is that I can buy a business for $0 down that makes $500,000 or $1 million a year and know how to run it. If you've never run a business, and even if you do somehow magically pull off that deal, you're still screwed because you have no idea how to run a business. And so it's like you still lack the skills even though you can close the sale. Like I could sell that I could build a skyscraper. And if I somehow manage to BS my way through the negotiations and close the contract, I still have to build a skyscraper. And if you've never built a building before or even a house, very tough. And the likelihood that you then lose your ass on, because like you'll get the business that does $1 million in profit per year for $0 down, but not for $0. And that's the piece that I think a lot of people miss. It's like, it's not free. Like you have a liability or you have a debt if you use some sort of seller financing, creative financing, whatever. It's like, but now you owe this person.
If you're broke and you don't want to be anymore, I'm going to read you some stats. I'm going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to give you 6 steps so you don't have to be. The average American is a literal negative net worth. Means that babies are richer than people who are not babies because babies haven't gone into debt. Number 2, the average U.S. minimum wage employee will make over $1 million in their entire lifetime in earnings. And if you were the median of U.S. income, you would earn $3 million over the course of your life. So the reason staying poor is the decision is because you know as long as you continue to work, you are going to make $1 million, millions of dollars. And most of the time, it's going in places that don't make sense. So challenge number 1 is the buy nothing challenge. It's very simple. You just buy nothing. So disconnect your credit card from Amazon, leave your wallet at home when you go to work, have no way to pay for stuff. You have your gas, you have your insurance, rent, car payment. If you buy food at discount grocery stores, you pack your lunch. That's all. If you buy nothing that is as austere or hardcore as my recommendations may appear, I do not ask people to do things that I haven't done. And so like when I was taking $20,000 a month, me personally, I was in a house with 6 roommates and I split my bedroom with 1 roommate. And so like, 2 beds, 2 dudes looking at each other like every night. When I was making $1 million a month, I was living on less than 15. And so the key takeaway that shifted how I thought about making money and more importantly, keeping money is that wealth is actually a ratio between what you earn and what you need. And the number one rule of money is spend less than you make. And so I always like being super, super conservative with my expenses relative to what I make, because I don't like spending money that I feel like I do.
How do you advise people to select sort of who they're working on things with? This is really hard. Finding your tribe, finding the sort of people that you end up working with on and off for the rest of your career is really hard. I think I'll tell you some things I've learned, and I will admit that I don't have a perfect answer to this yet. But I think one thing is you should be willing to move. For whatever you're doing, there tend to be pockets of it around the world where there are similar people that are doing great work in whatever field you care about. And it's really worth trying to go be near them. And so, we get criticized sometimes at YC for having people move to the Bay Area, but bringing people together that are interested in a similar thing of startups, I think has been really valuable for a lot of people. I think another thing that I have learned is that whenever I've helped people for no immediate benefit and with no intention of ever getting a benefit at all, time and again in my career, it has really later benefited me a lot. So I think you at some point often get to a point in your career where you're limited by how many good people you know, and how many of those you can work with or get to do things that together. And so just helping a lot of people and spending a lot of time with a lot of people has benefited me, years after I've really helped someone for no reason. I get to invest in their startup and it goes on to be a huge success. Or we're able to work on OpenAI together, any number of things. I think just trying to help a lot of people, and out of that seeing who is really impressive and who gets things done is helpful.
Treating people equally is not the same, is not recognizing who they truly are and taking advantage of their skills. And I've learned that through Cent. I've learned that through all this. And, like Cent and I talk, we'll be a much better organization. I'll be a better exec. I'll be a better investor. I'll be a better shark because I recognize that, treating people equally is not the same as treating them, recognizing their skills and their differences. And for this audience, it's critically important, And I think there's an opportunity now, and I know hopefully, people like me will recognize that the old white guys, now newly old white guys that are in positions of power, that there are things that you can do that I can't do, that there are things you see that I don't see. There are opportunities that you can create that I can't create. We were trying to sell to the Black community through the Mavs with multiple white men. We were trying to sell to moms with multiple white men. It's not that they're not capable. It's not that they're not skilled. It's just everybody brings something different to the table.
First of all, I really need to give some thought to how can I provide advice that would be most helpful? And I'm not sure I've given enough thought to that to give you the best possible answer. But I think certainly being focused on something that you're confident will have high value to someone else, and just being really rigorous in making that assessment, because people tend to. A natural human tendency is wishful thinking. So a challenge for entrepreneurs is to say, well, what's the difference between really believing in your ideals and sticking to them versus pursuing some unrealistic dream that doesn't actually have merit? And that is a really difficult thing to tell you. Can you tell the difference between those two things?
Right.
So you need to be sort of very rigorous in your self-analysis. I think certainly extremely tenacious, and then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week.
Gosh.
And then a lot of work. All those things improve the odds of success.
Okay.
I mean, if other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
Bigger is better. How many agree with this? Okay? If you can live on 900 grand, the only people that won't go to 9 million are the people that are selfish. Unselfish people grow their businesses. Selfish people don't. Okay, if you're taking notes, if you're going to walk away with something today, I'm talking to the able people here. Give me the name of a great company that has 7 employees. I'm waiting. Give me the name of a great company that doesn't spend a load of money on advertising. Who is this company? Tell me, give me one name of any company that's great, this small. See, you built a business on a fantasy. Right? Like I'm going to get a State Farm. I'm going to get a State Farm. I'm going to get an Allstate company. I'm going to be an Allstate guy and I'm going to make $900,000 a year. You're selfish, folks. See what I'm saying about the selfish person makes what they need. The unselfish person says, I'm going to make more than I need.
We've also had a lot of requests from companies to port Next Step to other platforms, and we're talking to some of those companies right now. Now, Sun, we got a lot of requests from Sun customers to port Next Step to Sun. So a lot of them are saying, look, we may not want to buy them anymore, but we already bought 500 and we don't want to throw them in the bay. So can we put your software on them? Because Sun's falling behind in software. Now, Sun says they'd rather stick needles in their eyes than help us do this. That's a quote. And so we're evaluating right now which will be worse for Sun, if we port it or if we don't port it. And since we're fairly customer driven, we'll probably end up doing what the customers ask us to do, because we want to make them happy.
My advice to young chefs from the age of 16 to sort of 29, 30 is 14 years of a sponge. You're absorbing knowledge. Don't take a job for the sake of money. Don't worry about earning £500 a month or a year more somewhere else. Go and get knowledge, because that becomes a bigger passport for everything. The money will come once you've mastered your craft and you become incredibly talented. Work for big chefs and find a different level of comfort. When things get too comfortable and you're still living with your parents and you've still got your first job and you don't want to move out because everything's too comfortable, get out. Put yourself in a strange situation in the middle of Barcelona. Put yourself in the middle of Paris. Put yourself in the middle of Belgium and see what's available. That's amazing how much confidence it gives you. And more importantly, it's great to sort of eat and travel at the same time. Fantastic.
You just have to try different things, and even if 99% of them fail, you only have to be right one time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong. You can pick the wrong career. You can pick the wrong job. You can pick the wrong spouse. You can pick the wrong whatever.
And come to Microsoft. My parents thought I was a whack job. Neither one of them graduated college, and they thought this was really a wild idea. I was lucky. I seized the day. Microsoft. One day, some guys fly in from IBM, and all of a sudden we figure out we could actually provide all the software they need for this thing that became the personal computer. People, Bill, Paul, they had the wisdom to seize the day when that opportunity presented itself. And yet, when you think of all the opportunities, when I think back of all the opportunities I've had, the one that was most important was an opportunity I got in 1969. Sitting in my junior high school class, I was in a public junior high, not very stimulated at the time, and over the loudspeaker, they said that a private high school in our area that I'd never heard of was giving scholarship tests that weekend. I told my mother I wanted to take them. She said, that's fine as long as you get a scholarship because we can't afford to send you there. But that's really where I got switched on. Switched on in math, switched on personally, energized in a way that never...
If you sit in failure for too long, you will never come out of it. So the first part of my success was learning how to fail properly. You have no fucking idea how great you really are because you are using such minimal of what you have. It became a way of living. So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline. It's a regimen. It was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give up everything to do that. But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I don't mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll fucking win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go fuck themselves, the heck is gonna fucking suck. And that's what I realized. That's what I realized. Life, that's why I wanted to come on here today. I didn't want to come on here and talk about no fucking passion and purpose and how to get the fuck out of bed and how to hit a fucking alarm clock and all this catchphrase bullshit. Because that wasn't how I lived. That wasn't how I lived. I woke up like every human being does and goes, fuck, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit today. How the hell is this gonna work out for me? And you fight that. And you fight that. You don't override it. There's no override button. It's the conversation in your fucking, like, in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it, but they do. It's that shit right there, man. You gotta build your will. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. I don't even want to say potential. I think that's word used out too much too. There's so much in you that God or wherever the hell you believe in, or if you're an atheist, in you that you have not unlocked, that you walk around with this gorgeous wife or great husband and all this money, you're like, God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there. Still chained up because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary. Like your little scary lab I went in. Scary. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a fucking little pinhole. And then through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Why most people don't want to do that, build that willpower, is because it is scary. It unlocks a whole bunch of things about who you are and who you're not. And a lot of people don't want to go down that journey to discover who they are and who they're not. Because it's not a pretty journey. I mean, I've gone down it. It's not like I went down it once. I go down it all the time. And when you unlock that, and you can't just turn it off. Like people say, hey, well, how come you haven't retired yet? I built all this willpower. Do you think it's gonna let me just retire because my knees hurt? It's telling me every morning, I wake up like, man, my knees hurt, my legs hurt, my body hurts, but you can still run. So why aren't you running? If you can still run, there'll be a time when you can't lace them up anymore, but you can still run. So I still run. When the time comes I can't run, the body will say, you just can't run. But if I can still do something, that willpower that I have created, it makes me do it every fucking day. And that's what they don't get. What builds a human being is you start with the small building blocks. And before you know it, man, you become something that it doesn't even make sense to most people because it's just who you are now. That's why I can still run at 50 at 49 with broke down knees and broke down body. Because my body knows you still can. Therefore I do. Second you stop, the willpower is gone. You know how people connect with my book so well? For some reason, God put me in almost every fucked up situation on the planet Earth. So when I talk to people, it's not sugar-coated, because I'm not saying it from, I was 175 pounds my whole life. I don't say much to those people. Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life, because obviously you are. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. And if you want to live with that, I'll support you in that. If you're good with being who you are, that every day you wake up and every day you smell like shit because you can't wash your body well, and your skin's messed up because your health's so bad, and you can't put your clothes on right, you need help with that. You need help, like when I was doing, I need help wiping my ass. That makes you feel good? Nothing I can say to you. If every day you wake up with this, see, people are haunted, but they obviously like horror films because they keep watching the same fucking movie. I don't like horror films. A lot of people like horror films. So I don't say much to them. I say exactly what I said to you, right there. Because I was once you. I didn't like horror films, so I changed it. Some people are just, they become, like you said, it gets real small when you're lazy and you're fat. Your will, their will is so small that they don't have any, and you can't give it to them. There has to be something. This is what I'm talking about now, because this isn't a hack. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book, because I was all this shit and then a lot more of fucked up. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robinson's fucking bullshit, all this shit. You do all this shit. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend and a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life. Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500, because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. You can't give them shit. I can give you ideas. At the end of the day, when I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold, because it was Indiana, November when it started. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks. And it's going to continue to suck. And then one day you'll get to a special part in your life that it might get a little bit better. But to lose the weight you have to lose, my friend, sorry, it's going to suck every fucking day. Because then when you're 300 pounds, you're going to go out to lose weight, you could probably get injured. So then you got to work on the injury, and then you get even more depressed. This is what I went through. And then you're hungry because now you're depressed. It's just a vicious cycle. And if you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're going to continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, motherfucker. This is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're going to do this today. No, this fucking really sucks. This is real, dude. This is real. And every day, I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. So this is what I would tell your boy. This is exactly what I tell him. Every day you wake up, you're going to probably be set back for the first 4 weeks before you lose to significant weight, because of the mind's going to be fucking with you the whole time. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed, and you have to create it. It has to be false, because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit, and that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that, just to get to work on yourself. That's the reality. Because what I've done is in the fucking unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the fuck up. That shit makes me fucking nuts. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom. You did that. So as times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as fuck. It's real. It's tangible. I feel it. It comes out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single dark moment of my life to be here. So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I don't need that shit. And neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need. You're not looking at the truth in front of you. The truth in front of you is it sucks. It's painful. It's fucking mind-numbing. And that is the truth. And that's why a lot of people don't like listening to me. Because this is what it takes. Creating another voice and sometimes going at it alone. All the time going at it alone because no one's gonna believe in you. That's that. I had to stop giving a fuck about people. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's fucked up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a fucking pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're gonna judge me and I'm gonna feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their fucked up world better than you have. That's all they've done. So once I realized that, if you want to sit back, like for instance, there's all these things that are on TV and we have all these news people judging people who fuck up in life. And yeah, they made big mistakes. But that person who is judging you on TV, I guarantee you that news person and say, I'm glad that my shit didn't come out, but I'm gonna judge the hell out of you. I know that about people. So if you want to sit back and judge how jacked up I was and how messed up my life was, Merry Christmas, go for it. Have a good time. But I'm smiling at you right now, knowing you have a secret that you're not willing to share. It gives you a lot of power when you're able to go on a podcast this big and say, hey, tell me, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I no longer care. And that is a lot of power in that, to be able to put your life on a billboard for the whole world to see and say, judge it, man. Judge it. Like just me talking about it makes me feel good. And that's another thing about it. When you are willing to talk about how jacked up you are, the strength, that big rock that you carry, it just starts to come off you. It just starts to come off. That's why I do it so often. I'm like, hey man, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of not telling you shit. I'm tired of lying about how good I'm not. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is, it builds no mental toughness. It builds no mental hardening. It builds nothing. When you work out, working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not, people don't, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life. When you look in the mirror, every morning we all look in the mirror to get ready to go to work, to go anywhere. The first thing you see is your reflection. If you don't like what you see in the morning, you lost the war already. It's not about even liking what you see. It's about looking in the mirror and you may start, man, I feel different. That reflection is not everything. It's a feeling you're supposed to get. So you have to, in life, once you leave your house, the war begins. In your house, You have some control. And that reflection in the mirror, you have to control that reflection in the mirror. That's how you start your day. If you leave your house feeling like, okay, I can fight. I've established the mentality to fight. And that all that comes from working out. It's not just from, you can't find that in the office. There's a lot of them out there. But most of them are that way for one big reason. They can't see themselves doing it. They can't see themselves doing it. It's one big reason. The other reason is a lot of it is jealousy. When you set these humongous fucking goals and they see that you're getting at it, let's say, for instance, we have a family. Let's say we're all a big family here. All 3 of us, all 4 of us are a big family. And every fucking morning I'm getting up training for a 200-mile run. And you see me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and all you fuckers are sleeping. And by the time I get done running my 30, I come home just getting up. How are you gonna feel about yourself? A lot of times when you're an overachiever and you have people, that's what I talk about the mediocrity thing. A lot of our family members, a lot of our friends, they're mediocre. There's always those couple of guys who are uncommon, who want to be better. But you make that mediocre motherfucker feel like shit. Whether it's your mom, your dad, whoever. You make him feel horrible. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. When you get somebody around you, man, who's trying to be better and you don't have the drive that they have, it's a constant reminder of how fucked up you are. You have to know that that's what it is. Anybody in your course not saying, man, get after it, brother, I'm so proud of you. They have a problem with themselves because all you're trying to do is achieve more. If that's a problem for somebody, you have to look at them and say, man, you really have a fucking problem with yourself, huh? It's much deeper than what you think. Right. It lies deep in your soul. How I was able to fix myself was I saw how ugly I was towards other people who were great. I was able to look back and say, man, you don't hate that motherfucker for any reason because he's great. And you're lazy. You're lazy. He makes you feel like shit every single day. That's where it comes from. You have to know where shit comes from to be able to solve it. I honestly want to be considered one of the hardest men to walk the planet Earth in the history of the world. And what I mean by hard, I'm not talking about the guy who does the most pull-ups, the most sit-ups, runs the most. Just a person who's able to overcome any adversity in front of him, to figure out a way. Hardness isn't about all this physical shit, man. Yeah, it helped me get to where I'm at. But all I was doing in the whole process, the process wasn't to be ripped. It wasn't to walk around with my shirt off. That wasn't it. I knew through the physical challenges, through the physical suffering, my mind was getting stronger. I was literally doing that for a reason. I had a weak mind. All the rest just happened to come with it. I was trying to strengthen the mind to handle all the judgment that's passed on me, perceived and not. Sometimes you make it up in your own head. I just want to be able to handle all of that, everything, physical, mental. I want to be perceived as that, like an old school barbarian, an old school guy that's like, God, dog, man. Nothing can hurt the guy, which is why the book is titled, Can't Hurt Me. I want people to have that mantra in their life. Take that with you. Take it everywhere you go in life. And if you believe that and you work towards that, callous in your mind, strengthen yourself, Can't Hurt Me is strong. In any situation, like when I was in Buzz, they beat the shit out of you. I'd be the first one to get up and say, can't hurt me, motherfucker. And they were beating the hell out of me. But you say that enough to you. False motivation becomes fucking real motivation after a while. I realized is I'm not a cookie cutter type of guy. Right. I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to help you. If you're coming in to work with a guy like me, who knows that you have to have thick skin to get better, you have to call yourself out. If you're fat and you're fucked up, I want to hear that. I don't want to hear you tap dancing around shit. So I don't take on many clients because when you work with me, we're going to get to the root of the fucking problem. And a lot of people don't want to go there. They don't want to talk about their childhood. They don't want to talk about their past. They want to get to the root of the problem and then they go, why am I not getting better? Because there's a lot of shit in there you haven't dealt with, brother. People go to the gym, like for instance, going through any kind of special operations school. These people go to the gym, they get big, they get jacked, they can run fast, all that shit. But the only thing they're doing is they're coding over the mind. All you're doing is building a bigger, stronger quitter. Your mind hasn't gotten any stronger because you haven't gone back in there and dealt with shit. So the second adversity comes, like, my God, I'm so fucking fit. What's wrong? Your mind is still soft. So I work on the mind. It's hard for me to respect people who are able to come into that world and leave.
Sure.
This is a fucking lifestyle, man. Like, and people wonder, why am I not achieving more? It's because all of us, once we achieve something, we celebrate for a long years fucking time. And we wonder, why don't I have drive anymore? Where's it all at? If you don't develop a routine of suffering, and suffering is not like go out and kill yourself every day. It's being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That keeps you hungry every day. If you live in your victories for so long and say, I'm going to go challenge myself for 30 days or for 2 weeks or run this one marathon. And it ends, I did one marathon. Okay. That's why it leaves you. It leaves you because you haven't set up the next obstacle. Obstacles is how you grow. You must continue to have friction. Friction is where growth is at. With no friction, there's no growth. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything. But guess what happens? That alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. to train. I don't want to be a SEAL today. Or I don't want to be whatever today. I'll start tomorrow. And that's the usual pattern of people's lives. That's why I talk about clearing out the mind. Until you really want to do something, you always get be a talker. You always get run your fucking mouth. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting when shit's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water. Because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the fucking beach with the fucking instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on. They got their cup of fucking Joe, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it. So mentally, I get back with them. I'm still in the water physically, but mentally, I'm back with them. I'm chilling. I got my parka on, and now I'm thinking logically because I'm warm now. Mentally, I'm warm. I've taken that 1 second. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's fucking think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this shit? Where are you going to go? What are you going to say to yourself? Because you know you're going to get warm. The second you get out of this water, you could take a shower and you could be warm. And in 5 days, you could be out. So I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down because your brain just wants to get the fuck out. Ring the bell, push your helmet down, get warm, and then you're really fucked. And these are the things you have to think about in the 1 second decision. So that's what that's all about. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here. And I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds through this 130-hour journey. And I have to learn to control these. Because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, fuck you. I run this motherfucker. And that's what that's all about. So every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that shit, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized because I know I'm gonna get hit in the fucking mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the fucking mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run. A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their fucking master. When you become the master of your fucking dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And you say, okay, I'm going to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So, a lot of people out there dreaming. So my first conversation when I was absolutely nobody, and that's one thing you have to say. We live in a world now that's so kind. We find the kind way around everything. Like, if you don't look good, I have to find a kind way of saying, I don't like your shirt.
Right.
That's not the approach. If that's the approach you're looking for, that book is not for you. Can't Hurt Me is not for you. The approach you have to take, at least I took, you take whatever approach you want. The conversation had to be a real, honest conversation. In the accountability mirror, guess what? I was fat. Don't find a kind word to say that, you know what, I've gained some weight. No, you're fat. When I couldn't read, not like, hey, you know, you have a learning disability. No, I cannot read. I have a 4th grade reading level, I'm struggling, and sometimes I call myself stupid. Not in a way to put myself down. So don't take it like, my God, those are so hurtful. Yeah, they're hurtful, dishonest. The conversation has to become an honest conversation of where you're at mentally. Where am I at mentally? I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm falling behind in school. I'm lazy. My house is a mess. You have to look at what it is and call it what it is. Don't find words to make yourself feel better, because that's what, so we hang around people that make us feel better, that tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. And so we stay away from those people. And we stay away from those people, like our internal dialogue becomes that kind, it's okay, it's not okay. So that's where it starts. It starts with that accountability of it's not okay anymore. This can no longer be okay. And calling yourself out for exactly what you are and exactly how you need to fix it. That's where it starts. Nothing gets solved by that, man. Nothing. And if you look at America right now, and I won't get off on this, nothing is getting solved because there's so much racism. There's so many things, and that's just one of them. We can't talk about anything. We are skirting all these conversations because if I say this, I'm going to offend a black person or a white person or a Jewish person or a gay or lesbian person. We skirt around the daggone problem. So we can't fix shit. Everything is like, well, if I say this on TV, I'm going to lose my dad. We have to say it. We have to break the barriers within our minds, within the world. And it starts with yourself. It starts with yourself. You got to break the barriers down within yourself and it's go there. You got to go to yourself. So think about it. When I say suffering, people cringe. People, that's the one word, whenever I post about it, people cringe. It's not about suffering, how people may look at suffering. Like you have to just go to a place that just every day of your life is suffering. You have to tap into suffering every day of your life because we have so much scarring that we have to clean up. You have to look at suffering as almost like I look at failure. To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there. All the answers to all the test questions. The test is your life. All the answers are in there. You don't have to live in suffering and pain and failure all the time. You have to learn, I need to visit it. Like people hate working out. You're only going to visit working out maybe an hour a day. 23 other hours of the day, you're not in it. But how you become in shape is you must visit suffering, visit working out 1 hour a day. Visit suffering 1 hour a day. Visit your past failures 1 hour a day. The relationship with it is the answers are in there. They are in there. Within the suffering, go in there, and I call it the live autopsy. The live autopsy. How you find out someone died? They crack you open after you're dead. How you can live is do it while you're alive. Go back in your brain, crack it open while you're alive. Don't wait until you're fucking dead to figure out why you died. Do it while you are living. Go in there, go into the suffering, go into the pain of your life and say, why did this suck for me so bad? Why am I afraid of all this stuff? Why have I shut down the whole world? I guarantee I'll tell you why you shut down the whole world. It's in these nooks of the suffering within your brain, in the scarring, are all the answers to why you are on the couch feeling sorry for yourself. They lie within the scars. Visit them for at least an hour a day, study them, and then you'll find out more about yourself. You will then grow. So don't look at it as every day I suffer. Go into it an hour a day. Learn from yourself, learn from life, learn from your failures, learn from your insecurities, learn from your self-doubt. Don't just say, I'm afraid to jump off an airplane. What makes you afraid of it? Study it. That's why I studied my mind. Why I became so powerful in the mind is because I realized I was weak. So instead of running away from the mind, I dove into it and said, what is making me weak? Oh, this makes sense. I came from hell. I came from a place that beat me down to nothing, which is why I'm afraid. All this makes sense. So systematically, one by one, I went back and met every single person in my mind, every situation. There's a lot of cookie cutter shit out here in this world. Oh, discipline, wake up early, take a cold shower, fuck this, fuck that, whatever. It's all fucking bullshit. It's not. But what they don't teach you within the cookie cutter is like our minds are like a fucking garage. And the garage, if you open a garage and it's all cluttered up, it's all fucked up, you can't put your car in there. You got fucking boats and you got fucking kids' toys and shit everywhere. But if you organize that fucking garage and you put everything in its rightful spot, you can pull that car in there. You can put 2 cars in there. You can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. People talk about discipline and fucking determination and fucking, repetitions and all this shit. Consistency. Why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered fucking garage comes in, and then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and it fucking sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a fucking circuit breaker that has so much shit in it, you keep on loading it, you can't put any more into it. So I talk about it in there, man, so much about clearing space in your fucking mind so then you have room for all those discipline, waking up early, taking those, because they do mean something. But we don't get to that fucking dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage. You're looking at fucking, I gotta take care of the kids schedule's all fucked up, my husband, my wife, I'm going by McDonald's to get this, and I'm rushing my schedule. Everything's just fucked.
I wish I was doing this, but I'm doing that.
That's it.
And that and this. I want a raise, but I can't get one.
That's it.
My boss is an asshole.
Where's greatness in that, man? Yeah. You can't fit discipline into that. You can't fit structure. You can't fit consistency. You can't fit the grind. And then when you try, it just gets it gets fucking overrun by the fucking clutter in your fucked up mental garage. People have talent. People have a lot of talent. And this is going beyond your talent. So when there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once their talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. that the whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. And they realize, man, why am I always messing up right here? Why is this like my big hurdle? It's because you're performing to your talent. And then after that, your mind has nothing for you. Nothing for you. I see fighters, I see runners, I see people who they're great, but they get to the edge of their talent. It's like, fuck, man, what's up? Because you're now at the point now where your talent ain't gonna do shit for you, my friend. Now it's the mental game. And that's where people get lost in life, get lost in that next level. And that next level was found for me in the things that I do. I was misunderstood. I got to a point, I'd be running. I was like, okay, man, we could do 10 miles today. I get to 10 miles, like, oh no, motherfucker. That fucking demon that I let out every fucking morning that walks the streets at night, he comes and says, hey, no, bitch, not today, man. There's somebody out there that you don't know, have never fucking met in your entire life, that is doing 12, 13, 14. You're gonna do another one. And when you meet him, you ain't gonna be fucking ready. So Goggins kept on running. At one time, I was running by a graveyard when I was fucking just trying to become, I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these fucking moments of it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself. I'm always in deep fucking thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you motherfuckers in there fucking just are so upset with how you lived your life and fucking just regret how you lived it. And I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't fucking die like this, bro. Don't die like this. So people wonder where this shit comes from me. It comes from such deep thought of trying to see what this is all about. What is this life all about? What am I all about? Why am I here? You know, I had to find purpose. And my suffering, it had a purpose. I see these older guys who are still fucking grinding hard. People always talk about father time.
Yeah.
Father time doesn't get you, man. It's father fatigue. It's father fatigue, man. Like I see these guys who have been in sports for a long time, fighting, or basketball, football, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's that grind. It's that everyday waking up grind. It's not father time, man. It's the fact that, you know, I gotta go do it again.
Yes.
I gotta do it again. So a lot of these guys are fighting father fatigue and they're doing a good job of doing it. The things I don't enjoy that I still do, that's where growth is at. And that's, for me, the only place growth is at is in that very uncomfortable, in that uncomfortable zone.
Yeah.
So I have to visit it every single day. There may be some days I get up with poopy pants and I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck this, man. Like, what am I training for?
Yeah.
I have no race in the docket. Why am I having such a structured life? Why? And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I retire every day.
Yeah.
I'm done with this shit. And I sit around and I say, okay. And then this is my thought process. So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them. Being fine with being mediocre. You want to go back to who you were, huh, David? I'm like, fuck that, man.
And you have that conversation with yourself every day?
Not every day, it's those bad days.
Yeah.
It's those bad days. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are. And I'm talking about talent, like some God-given ability. Talent that sometimes you have to hone, you have to work on, and you have to harness yourself. You have to go to a different focus. The focus has to be so heightened that very few people, they even understand that, but they have it in them. They have it in them to go there, but you have to go to a place of fear, of suffering, of pain, of doubt. And that's when your mind, if it knows it's not gonna quit, it opens up. And once it opens up, that's my 40% rule. Once you can open your mind up when it knows it's not gonna quit, it finds more. It finds more focus, it finds more power, it finds more drive. And that's what gets you through the 31 miles. That's what gets him so hyper-focused on that one little nodule to put his finger on. And that's what you find in those moments. But without those moments, you don't know what you're capable of. because you're living a very structured life without risk. I'm going to explain this to you. I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. So like when I was losing 106 pounds in 3 months, the first 2 months or first 2 weeks, it's like I was gaining weight. You know, I would lose a pound, gain 2. So I was just failing. I kept failing and kept failing and kept failing. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast, because my goals were, to be a Navy SEAL. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time. So the big thing is know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? And you got to teach yourself that. But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you got to have an unlimited supply of fucking fuck you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. And it has to be there, because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what the fuck it takes. And you got to get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's got to be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you got to pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times. There's people in these different, programs that do it for 30 days.
Correct.
And there's a lot of programs that are 30 days. And 30-day programs are good, but it's kind of a hack. Because while they say it takes 3 weeks to develop a habit or it's always this hacky shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, 30 days ain't gonna do shit for you. The permanent, you wanna make it permanent. Permanent, you start talking about a year, 18 months, 2 years, that's a sacrifice. And when you commit yourself to something for a year, you're not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna let that go. Because in your mind, you have it clear as day. That year took a lot out of me. That year built me. That year started to scrape away all that scar tissue, started to clean me up. 30 days doesn't clean shit up. 30 days just kind of covers up, put a blanket over it. It's like putting a rug over it. A year, it cleans you up nicely, man. Whatever your problem is, if you can dedicate yourself for a year to something, you could be a changed person. What it was, my first question was, okay, what do you want to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forgo? Because a lot of people, like this guy came in one time, I was a trainer, and he goes, man, I can stop doing anything but my frappuccinos. I go, fucking leave. Because I'm looking for that person like me. People, it's hard for people to understand how I lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. I sat down at the table and I said to myself, what are you willing to give up? Everything. And when people come to me with that kind of mindset, I can work with you. When you are willing to strip yourself down to nothing and give everything, that's who I want to work with. Because now I can mold you into exactly who you want to be. When you put these restrictions up, and that's why my first question is, how bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you. or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it, and nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might fucking happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen. You have to put yourself in that situation, man. They have already put their cap on their success in life. And that's why most people aren't sitting where you're sitting or sitting where I'm sitting. You never capped yourself. You might have. And if you did, you took it off. 100%. People cap themselves. They look at somebody, and because their mind can't imagine it, they then start talking shit. He has to be doing this, or he has to be doing that. There has to be some trick. There has to be some potion. This is bullshit. No, it's because you cannot allow your mind to open up for the possibility of it can be done, which is why you being people are where they are today. Yeah. Because you shackled your mind to have limits. And everybody has a limit, but find it first. And that's the one thing I'll say right now to people listening to this. A real person, a real alpha, a real go-getter, they ain't saying shit about nobody. Correct. That's why you will never, ever hear me dropping somebody's name, running my mouth about somebody. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you're going through. I didn't wear the shoes you wore when you were a kid. I didn't grow up in your fucked up house. I didn't have your fucked up family. I don't know shit about you. So guess what I do? Shut the fuck up. Because real men don't say shit. Because first of all, we're too busy trying to grind and be better. Correct. Second of all, unless we know what we know, we shut our fucking mouths. But nowadays, there's not many real men who live by that creed of like, you know, if you're on social media running your fucking mouth and shit, you're just a bitch. Correct. You're honestly, and that's not me trying to be some after school special shit. You really are a bitch. Real men ain't doing it. Real men don't care about that gossipy bullshit. Get to work, man. Right. That's it. So the mind has a governor, like a car. If you're driving a car and the car has a governor on it, the car may say 130 miles an hour, but the governor is set for 91. Once that governor sets in, you get to 91, that car starts doing this. The car wants to go. The car wants to go, but that fucking factory said, we're not going past 91. We have a factory, a nice governor in our brain, and it's a survival mechanism. It protects us from pain and suffering. The second we feel that shit, our mind says, oh no, this isn't fun. We should back off. We should sit down, find something more comfortable. And there's something about the mind. The mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times. At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. The mind controls everything. So what I realized was that when I was growing up and I was 300 pounds and I got all fat and I got all insecure, I realized that my mind kept taking me in this direction. When things got uncomfortable for me, when I was facing my insecurities, I was facing my fears, my mind said, oh no, we have the tactical advantage. We need to get you, separate you from this feeling over your life. It's all about feelings. We want the happy feeling. We don't want that feeling of this sucks. Why am I here? And you don't have any, so you can't answer those questions, so you leave. I started realizing that if in that moment, you can answer those fucked up questions, and you are now in charge of your brain versus your brain ruling you, that's where all that stuff comes from. So the 40% rule is all of that. You get to 40%, your brain says, we're done. Let's roll, man. This is starting to get painful. This is uncomfortable. So you sit down. You have to figure out ways, and everybody's different. That's how the book kind of talks about, like we all have these things about, 5 steps to this and 4 steps to this. It's a lot more than that. That's all bullshit. It's a practice that you have to, it's a habit. So if you know that at 40%, I'm feeling pain, At 40% I'm feeling pain. That's where the 40% rule kicks in. Now it starts. Okay, I'm feeling pain. My mind's saying all this shit to me. It's saying, get out of here, run, flee. The fight or flight kicks in. Okay, we're done, we're not good enough. It starts telling you all these things. You start to believe it because the mind controls all. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. It's okay, let me see if I can go 45%. And then once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, okay, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. You start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself. And then it goes from 40% to a lot further than that. But that's the start of it though. Get to the spot where your mind is saying stop. Wherever that is, you gotta get there first. And then that's when that shit starts to work for you. You gotta control yourself in that moment. You have to face that in that dark room. In that dark room is who you are. But in that dark room is where you have to create another human being that walks out of that dark room to face who you are. That's the only way you're gonna get over all those things. You have to create someone else. Not like you have two different personalities, it is you. But you have to find strength. And that visualization of almost me cracking out Goggins, like almost like that Superman cape, like I'm coming out a different person, a person that doesn't give a fuck about anything, who doesn't care about being judged, who knows I'm weak, who knows I'm afraid, who says, whatever you think about me, take it, whatever, I'm here. That's Goggins. In the dark room, you face yourself, you realize you want to be better, you realize you don't want to be this weak, insecure person in the world who has all these problems that we all have. We all have. Social media is a great platform to tell you who we want to be, not who we are. So that's where that dark room is. You have to first be uncomfortable with how you feel about yourself. With that voice that a lot of us like to run away from, we all have it. We all have that voice that say, hey man, you're kind of wimping out right now. You're kind of being a little punk right now. But a lot of us say, okay, that's okay. It's okay to tell these little white lies to ourselves. So we first have to face the real you. The real me is David Goggins. The real me is a guy looking at you right now saying, I don't want to fucking be on this show right now because I used to stutter as a kid. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that here in a second, I'm going to start fucking stammering and stuttering and the whole world's going to know that I have all these issues. But that's when I see right now, okay, Goggins, you got to go on this fucking show. That's Goggins. Goggins is saying, okay, David Goggins, you're a punk. Life made you this way. We can't live like this. We can't live in fear. We can't live in judgment. We can't be afraid of what the fuck people right now are looking at me saying about me. We cannot be afraid of that. That's Goggins. Goggins saying, fuck all of you who don't like me, who don't want to, and that person then comes in. But you have to be David Goggins and say, man, I'm afraid of this. I'm fucked up here. Life made me this way here. I stutter. I have these issues with reading and writing and I'm fat and I'm insecure. You have to face that in that dark room. In that dark room is who you are. I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself how to fail. When you're 300 pounds and you can't read and write and you're fucked up, you know how many times you're gonna fucking fail on that process? So if you don't know how to fail, there is no victory. Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. You did this wrong, or they get yelled at. It's so easy to be great nowadays because everybody else most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it. People have a hard thing to understand. I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, it doesn't anymore, is people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. That's what people understand. By me running, I am callous in my mind. I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is going to throw at me. Because the life I've lived, it throws a whole bunch at you. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just going to crumble and you're good for nobody. Tighten up, people. It's okay. What are you going to do now? They don't own your life. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whatever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. Right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you gotta be quiet. Shut the fuck up, go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it.
I'm just starting out in life. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing.
How old are you?
26.
And you don't know
where I'm going, what I'm doing, and I'm not disciplined.
So how the fuck am I supposed to help you? You're lazy, you know exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. Everybody's looking for mental toughness. Yeah. Every athlete, everybody in the world is looking for mental toughness. The only way you gain mental toughness is to do things you're not happy doing. If you continue doing things that you're satisfied and that make you happy, you're not getting stronger. You're staying where you're at. Either you're getting better or you're getting worse. You're not staying the same.
So what are you doing today?
Doing the same thing I was doing last year and last month and last week. I'm continually to look in the mirror, look at the reflection. It's called the accountability mirror. What have I done today to improve David Goggins? The accountability mirror is something that I kind of came up with in high school. Like I said, I started shaving my head when I was 16. And I got caught up in trying to impress so many people because no one liked me. So I developed so many different identities. When you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. So every morning I would shave my head thinking, God, I would reflect back on some of the lies I may have told somebody or some of the ways I acted that I didn't feel comfortable doing. I was trying to make other people like me. How pathetic is that? We all have that voice that's saying, hey man, you know, you're kind of wimping out right now. You're kind of being a little punk right now. But I would say, okay, that's okay. It's okay to tell these little white lies to ourselves. So we first have to face the real you. The real me is David Goggins. The real me is a guy looking at you right now saying, I don't want to fucking be on this show right now because I used to stutter as a kid and I'm afraid of that. But that's when I see right now, okay, Goggins, you got to go on this fucking show. That's Goggins. Goggins is saying, okay, David Goggins, you're a punk. Life made you this way. We can't live like this. We can't live in fear. We can't live in judgment. We can't be afraid of what the fuck people right now are looking at me saying about me. You have to face that in that dark room. That's the only way you're gonna get over all those things. You have to create someone else. Human beings want to show you the best side, and they want to hide the worst side. For me, I'm gonna teach you how to be vulnerable, because that's the only way you fix yourself. Let's say it's a man up there or a woman, whatever, and they have a chart. And when you're born, they say David Goggins. They write the chart down because they can see everything. They know exactly where you're fucking supposed to be. You die, you go to so-called heaven. You arrive at heaven, I'm 300 pounds. I go up there and God looks at me and he shows me my chart. And my chart on there says you were supposed to be a Navy SEAL. You're supposed to weigh 185 pounds. I was supposed to live that life. And then you find out that the reason why, because we all think that if we pray on it, if we do this, if we do that, whatever, if we don't work, we just, whatever, it's gonna magically happen for us. I believe that when I'm all said and done with, my whole job is to outwork the chart. Whatever the fucking chart says about me, the all-knowing power up there, I want to get up there and say, him look at me and say, I know everything. I didn't fucking see this. I want to feel that. I want to get to the other end of this fucking world, and however I'm being judged, whoever's judging me, to look at me and say, I did not fucking know. I had you at 185, I had you at this, but all this other shit, I was riding as you were living it. I want to find more. All I can. And in that fucking sack of shit, you have to dive in that to find more. Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Do things you hate to do. Be uncomfortable every fucking day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Instead of somebody saying, oh no, you're smart. No, don't say that to yourself. I said to myself, no, I'm a dumb motherfucker. Okay, roger that. How do you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from the truth. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I am today. I believe that most human beings are only living at about 40% of their capability. Yo, who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I fucking thrive in that shit. That's the only place to be. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robinson's fucking bullshit, all this shit. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. And that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that, just to get to work on yourself. That's the reality. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything. Let's say you have no races. Let's say you have no classes, no nothing. There's no purpose in your life. People need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. If you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us. Because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. If you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself, because you have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. And a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life. Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500, because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And it's going to continue to suck. And then one day you'll get to a special part in your life that it might get a little bit better. Self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. The self part is what's big, where you're going to fail and you're going to be in your head. You're going to be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis, when that thing is saying, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money, and you start I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football or being in. You start to believe this shit. And it becomes in your fucking mind. Like, there's people who are retiring, you know, at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still putting 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that. Why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrive. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. You know, it comes from, I had a rough childhood coming up, and I just took all that, you know, negative energy and made it very positive for myself to drive me. I'm a very driven person. I have passion that almost scares people, just to be successful and to make it no matter what. People wonder, how do you stay hungry all the time? Because after I accomplish something, I don't sit back like a lot of guys who graduate buds, graduate this, graduate that. They get comfortable. They wonder why I'm getting weak, man. I don't know, I lost my edge. What's going on? Because once you hit the top of the fucking mountain, guess what happened? I'm good. I'm good, so you wonder why you're falling down now. Because once you reach the top of the mountain, you gotta build a fucking another one. That's mediocrity. There's a lot of people in mediocrity who have a nice resume, but they're one-timers, man. They hit a one-time deal, they busted it open, got a lot of money, but they're good. You're mediocre now, man. What are you fucking doing today, tomorrow, the next fucking day? I listen to a motherfucker who's like this, man. What's wrong, man? I'm fucking tired, dude. Why are you tired? Because tomorrow, I gotta do the fucking shit again, man. Whatever the shit is that made me fucking nauseous and sick to my stomach, it made me hurt, there's no ending. And that's the person I listen to. That's the person who's gained knowledge. You gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world. I will have normal, everyday people picking me apart. Oh, his life is miserable. Who wants to live like that? It's crazy how it's almost like he's sick, he's psychotic. Because human beings need to hear this. They need to stop hearing these hacks on this and that. There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack. Yeah, you may this and that and saunas and all this shit yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. Let me teach you the real life, how it really is. The reason why you're a loser, and the reason why you're not fucking making it, and the reason why you're trying to go through I go to all these fucking conventions, speak all the fucking time. I look in the fucking audience, and these people sign up fucking every year to go to a convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. What brings me joy and happiness is knowing how beautiful the mind is, and I'm one of the few people that didn't read about it, didn't experience it through some drug. I got to experience the beauty of true fucking willpower. True, fuck you, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fucking fail, and I will succeed. Just me talking about that gives me a feeling, I know what I did, and I don't need to travel somewhere or to have this or have that. I have it all here in my mind. And that is, when you finally get to that point for me, it's forever lasting peace. I don't have to do anything. I could die right now on this show and I'll be happy, man. Sometimes life can really hijack your fucking mind. When that happens to you, you're all fucked up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the fucking window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the fuck over it. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the fucking test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't fucking get it. Someone else does. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Get after it, stay hard. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at. where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. Stay hard. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So yesterday, I made the choice to get up early and run, but today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get active again. So make the right decision. I want you to realize that this world, life, is one big head game. And once you learn to play the motherfucking head game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life. I've saw myself as the weakest human being on the planet. And I wanted to transform that into the hardest man God ever created. Who's gonna carry the votes? When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace because you know exactly who you are. When you quit, your mind says we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. Your mind takes control of you. You have to say, fuck you, I run this motherfucker. You gotta tell your brain where you wanna go and how you wanna go and how you wanna get there. Stay fucking hard. That warrior mentality that I'm so proud of, I wasn't born with it. I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. What changed me was I had to be hard on myself. And I have to continue to grind myself into a fine dust. The only way I could find myself was through putting myself through the worst thing possible. I was a scared, uneducated kid who stuttered, and I had to look at myself in the mirror and hold myself accountable for who I wasn't and who I wanted to be. Nothing was coming back to save me, so I realized I didn't save myself. You gain knowledge through suffering, and on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world, because that's where you find yourself. You gotta go into that hellhole of life that you have that fucked you up and fix it. And that's what I'm here to do. It's a hard journey. It's a real journey. It's a journey that's gonna take you way outside of being comfortable. We all look for toughness. We all want it, but we look for it in a comfortable environment. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment.
You gotta do your best work when you're the least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta second the fuck up and do it.
You have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. You have to build a person that can withstand the pressures of whatever they're gonna be dealing with in life. Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. You have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. The mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times. At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. Your mind takes control of you. You have to say, you, I run this motherfucker. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. There's gonna be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are gonna want to do it. That's your new norm. That's your new norm. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. We have the ability to go in such a space. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. I'm trying to build people up. I'm trying to armor their mind. I'm trying to get them to belief. Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness, and it will just hammer you. So if I can help you build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You have to build a person that can withstand the pressures of whatever they're going to be dealing with in life. You gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world because that's where you find yourself. Every day you have to do this shit. Because why? When you stop doing it, you don't just maintain it. If you stop shooting a gun, you're not going to be a great shot when you pick a gun up a year from now. If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so glad you don't, because I'm in the right spot. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it. I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the is in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read it again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back until the shit just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm going to try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're going to adapt and overcome now. A lot of us want to find peace first. So people say, man, you always talk about this suffering and pain and shit. I'm at peace right now because I went through that, right? You don't find peace first. If you do, Merry Christmas, more power to you. I found peace on the opposite end of finding myself. And no one really finds himself without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. One thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, motherfucker, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. Not getting civilized is about having a savage mentality. It's a comfortable world. A lot of us say, like for instance, I see these athletes right now who retire. I'm 38. I'm 39. I did 20 years at the top of my game, and I'm chilling out now. You see them a year later and how they look. What the hell just happened to you? What the hell? You're one of the greatest athletes of all time. Kids looked up to you. Women, men of all ages looked up to you. And they hit the pinnacle where it's time to retire, and their mind says, I'm civilized. The worst thing that could ever happen to any human being is they become civilized. It's that total accountability. Like even when you retire, there's a mother looking at me and judging me right now, man. I was the baddest person to ever live. Doesn't go away, man. You gotta wake up, even though you retired, you're never retired. You're setting the example every single day of your life. And being civilized feels so good. But I'm sorry, man. Once you get to the top, you may retire, but you ain't never coming back home, man, because now you're judged. People see you falling off. You want to be that guy who knows I may be retired from the sport or from whatever I did, but I'll be damned if you ever see me looking like shit, feeling like shit, not arriving. People, I've arrived. I've arrived mentality. You're always setting the example. Civilization feels so good. These comfortable feelings are what people want. They want retirement. They want that. They need that. It's a yearning feeling. I want it too. People love putting a label on me about, my God, man, you're just wired different. Not wired different, dude. I'm thinking right now, after I got past my stuttering thing, now I'm on a roll, I'm good now. You know what I'm thinking about right now? I gotta wake up tomorrow and do the same shit again. I gotta leave this interview and go stretch out for 2.5 hours. I hate that shit. But guess what it does though? I'm constantly callousing over my victim's mentality that I once had growing up. Every day you have to do this shit. The only way to keep from getting rusty is to constantly owe that machine. The machine is this. You gotta keep challenging it every day. How do I do it? How am I able to do what I do on a daily basis? You know, how do I fight the demons? Because they hear me speak and I'm very raw and real. How do you fight my insecurities, all these things? And they're there every day. They're there every day. I'm in search for a feeling. I'm not in search for a trophy. I'm not in search for love. I'm not in search for more followers on Instagram or social media. When I started this journey years ago and I realized that I'm going to be somebody and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world and realized that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting in this race by myself. Yeah, I'm all about people. I'm all about team. I'm all about that shit. But I'm really all about right now and in my life, no one knows the real truth about me, how hard I really go. I don't care if anybody knows. I don't want anybody to know. I'm an introvert. I live an introverted life. And I love that about me. That right there is my fuel. Is I know that there's really no one out there grinding like me. And if they are, so be it. If I know about you, I'll make sure that I up my game. That's what the mentality is all about. My whole thing is a mentality thing. I view myself as the weakest person on the planet Earth. I was just an insecure, scared kid. And the only way I could find myself was through putting myself through the worst thing possible. My goal in life was to, in my mind, believe I'm the hardest man alive. And that's why the whole thing is can't hurt me. That's what it's about. It's about whatever you think you are, you have to make that dream a reality. But that's where the hard part is making that dream reality. That's where the hard work comes. That's where people know, how do you keep grinding every day? You have to make those insecurities, those fears. Like when I was 300 pounds, I didn't have any drive. I'm gonna go be a Navy SEAL. What kind of stupid shit is that, 300 pounds? There wasn't like a drive to go be a Navy SEAL. I was an insecure, lying kid, afraid. I had to look at my insecurities and in my fear and find drive in that. We're all looking for passion. Passion's all around you. You have a whole stack of it all around you. It's your insecurities, all that shit. You gotta dive deep into that shit. It's all in there. All the energy and fuel you need is right in yourself. It's all there. You got a lot of stuff to do to overcome. And, you know, that's where I found it. I found it right there in my own insecurities. I found drive in my own insecurities. And that's the most powerful thing in the world. When you can find drive in your own doubt, fear, insecurities, you get to face a lot of shit, young man. You got a long journey ahead of you because you're going to find out that while your dad did a lot of shit to you, you're going to have to make it on your own. Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. The world's tough. The world's tough. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness and it will just hammer you. So it's time to get back to work. Get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing that can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays in their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Everything I need is in my mental lab. Everything. Because I'm in constant study of myself. And I know what needs to be conquered because I'm constantly going through what I don't like, what I'm not comfortable with. I know, and only I can fix these problems because I have to face these problems.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can practice for the unchosen suffering is have chosen suffering. Do something that sucks every day. I'm not trying to send a message of run 200 miles, be the baddest motherfucker in the world, but be tough. You better have a part about you that's tough, a part about you that can break down situations and get better. And break down situations very quickly within some trauma in your life, some devastation in your life, because it's going to come. The devastation, the trauma is going to come, and you can't allow that to become a Jersey barrier. It can't be a Jersey barrier. It has to be something that you can maneuver through very quickly and move forward. That takes a lot of toughness. There's a lot of people, when you die, they figure out why you died. They figure out how you died in the autopsy. But we never do a live autopsy to figure out why we're dying while we are alive. And I was dying. I was living every day, but I was really dead. And so I figured it out. And once I figured it out, I was able to reborn. I was able to be reborn. You must take this knowledge that you learn from all this shit is knowledge. So I'm just trying to give people that strength to go in the archives of your life. Because while you're probably fucked up, it's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself. That's the main purpose for me right now. You need to be better here. You need to be better here. You need to overcome this, overcome that. And people need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. There's no 5K. There's no, I'm going to get into school to be this or that, and still perform to the highest level. Because what people don't get is one day that thing's going to come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform, but we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So that's the only purpose I fucking need. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school, there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself. I was born David Goggins. David Goggins wasn't good enough. He was a scared, bullied, abused kid who struggled in life. And that kid, whenever something got tough, no matter how hard I trained, no matter how ready I was, whenever something got tough for me, David Goggins, the real David Goggins, would come out and he would quit. So I realized this over a period of time. So I had to build Goggins. And in that process, that's where I get better. I get better when I'm digging holes in the ground, when I'm waking up early knowing I don't have to do these things. That's where I get better.
So it's important to stay hungry.
It's important to stay hungry, but it's important more to stay humble within that hunger. So while you're hungry, a lot of people are hungry, but humility is everything.
What was that story about William Crawford, the janitor?
Yeah. So this guy won the Medal of Honor. So he won the Medal of Honor, and which is the highest award in the military. And this guy went to the Air Force Academy, and he was a janitor. And no one knew who the this man was. He had the highest award in all the military for heroics. For heroics, saving lives, putting his life on the line, could have been killed. And he is now basically, cleaning shitters for young kids. And we can all imagine how that probably went. There's probably some, little bit of taunting here and there. And he just sat there and cleaned the shitter. So that's why he's in my trained humility part, because for this man to be at the level he was and have that kind of humility to go, I'm a Medal of Honor winner, but I'm gonna put that in my closet, and I'm gonna pick up my broom and dustpan, and I'm gonna pick up, this rag and clean this for these young men. That right there is amazing for me, man. That's where you grow. That's growth, huge growth. And also it shows that he was doing his job. He was a servant. He didn't look at himself any better than anybody else. The second you do that, you totally lost. You cannot look at yourself like people with me even. I always look at people. I know where you are. I know where, because I've been there. That's why I help so many people out. I've never been above you. I've always pretty much been beneath you, and that's where my knowledge came from. So I know how to reach those people who are in the dungeon, because I've been there so many times. You have to be your best self when you're least motivated. And that's the tricky part about all that. Motivation is just a word. You have to have these different things in your mind on where you want to go, and know that motivation is not going to get me there, because I'm not going to always be motivated.
Jocko said the exact same thing. He said that discipline eats motivation for breakfast.
And discipline is good too, but without a clear headspace, there's no discipline.
What do you mean?
So let's say we have a circuit breaker, okay? And I'm loading everything up to one fucking circuit. Just load it up. It's gonna fucking blow. And once that thing blows, man, the circuit's all fucked up. You gotta have each thing plugged into the right spot, like a fucking crowded garage. You can't put anything in it. Once your brain is crowded, discipline is great. Motivation is great. But if you can't fit shit in your brain because it's all fucking cluttered with shit, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have with that discipline. I call it mental zones. Is you're organizing your mind so you can put that discipline. So a lot of people talk about discipline. Okay, great. Why do you fall off the wagon? Why can't I continue with this routine? Going to the gym, being better, waking up early, eating the right foods. It's because maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your job, and it's all just stuffed in your fucking brain. You don't have it compartmentalized and organized in these nice shelves. A lot of people whose brain, hey, where's my demos? Let me look. They're fucking throwing shit. They're looking through totes. They're all fucked up. So where am I going to put discipline in that mind if I can't find other shit? You got to be able to find all these different things in your mind. Oh, I can put discipline right there. If your life is not organized, and your life being everything around you, because it takes one little piece of an outside interference to clutter your whole mind. Your mind has to always be clear. That's why I meditate 2 hours every single night, because I refresh, I reorganize the garage, which is my mind, every night. So then discipline's in there, organization, everything is in this right spot. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized. So when I wake up, I'm ready to go.
Why is the truth so important?
You have to have the truth to have a starting point. And your true self is found in that very uncomfortable zone. We all look for toughness. We all want it. But we look for it in a comfortable environment. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. Those of you who are listening to this, you will not find it. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts, where you can't swim and you're drowning. Where you're drowning. When you say, you know what, ma'am? Dad. Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. It's in our head saying, you know what, man? Dude, you're not doing shit. You're wasting a bunch of percentage here. In this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this shit.
If you're not succeeding, and you're not achieving, it's because you're afraid to go in that dark place to find yourself. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And then there you get better.
When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, the amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go.
Every day, you must ask yourself, did I do enough?
And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize what trying is and what trying is not. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that shit we have nowadays, your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death, real life shit. You can't Google that shit, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're fucked. You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. It's over. All I knew back then was hard work. You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the fuck's in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Still not getting it. Read again. But if not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. I realized if I keep going back and going back and going back until the shit just becomes, your mind will say, fuck, okay, we're going to figure it out.
It'll find a way.
Because he is not going to stop. It's not like, I'm going to try one more time. No. Alarm clock goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're going to adapt and overcome now. That was my mindset. And that's how you get through things. You put yourself, you immerse yourself wherever it is, and you become that. I became hell. And that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I watched this segment on TV about these guys going through Navy SEAL training. And I couldn't even, I wasn't a great swimmer. I was afraid of the water, all this crap, man. I saw these guys just quitting. But at the very end, it says 22 guys. This commanding officer's up there and he gives this great speech. So I started visualizing me being the 23rd guy, sitting there with these guys. I said, man, if I could feel that, that would change my life.
And what was that feeling you wanted so bad? Respect? Accomplishment?
No, victory. I wanted to win. Not like beat somebody else. It wasn't about that. I just wanted to go the distance. Everything in my life, when something got hard, I quit. I had to work harder than you, so I quit. Like, man, if I could just go that distance, that extra mile, to just go, just to finish. I want to finish. I want to feel victory. And victory for me wasn't winning, it was just finishing. So I said, you know what? If I could feel like these guys feel, it would change my life. And literally, I started feeling victory just by putting myself in the battle. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles, now we can move from there. If you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here. And I'm fighting and I'm going to find a way to get through this because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power. And no one really finds themselves without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every fucking day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. The more I do this, the more I gain confidence. And then the more I gain confidence, the more I realize, fuck these Navy SEALs, man. These guys can't do what I'm doing right now. I had no coach, had no trainer, had no money. I didn't know how to lose weight. I had no knowledge of what I was doing. I was just working. I was just sacrificing. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place. And your true self is found in that very uncomfortable zone. That's where he came from. He came from all these f***ed-up obstacles, and now he's there. So everybody goes, how do you do that? You know exactly how to do that. There's a lot of thought behind a person being a born loser, becoming who I am today. You don't just wake up and just rocky the shit. You gotta wake up and think about, there's a process to getting better. And that process is never finished. Like a lot of times, if your back is hurting, it may not be your back. It may be something else in your body that's making your back hurt. For me, I'm like, man, why can't I get past this hurdle? So like I said, I'm always examining myself every day. What is it? What is it? Well, there's only one thing you haven't examined yet, and it's going back to the beast, going back to the demon. All the times that I was like, I'm not going back, and I went back. I'm not going back, and I went back. I'm not going back, and I went back. It showed me even more of what we have as humans. If we're willing to go there and we're willing to push that extra step. A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that. I had just climbed a mental wall that was amazing. And I didn't want anybody to take that pain away from me at that point, because that was all confirmation. So for me, this was the new level. You don't need a lot of things. Sometimes the only thing that kept me with that one step forward was one thing. Let's not quit yet, guys. Let's think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this shit? Where are you going to go? And when I got done with that race, it's the worst pain. I can't even describe the pain of that last 30 miles to anybody. No one, it's very hard. So when it ended and I'm laying there in the worst pain of my entire life, I'm shaking, I'm jacked up, and all I could think about was, I can't believe what I just done. To me, it was humanly impossible to even think about going 30 more miles in that shape. And once you do it, what came over me when that shower hit me, and the reality hit that I just went 101 miles. And that last 31 miles was something that I can't even describe to people. And what's amazing about the human mind is that it becomes your new norm. Like, to think that I can run 200 miles, 240 miles, and that becomes like running 50. I never thought that was possible. This is why I'm always pushing that limit, because I know that within pushing these limits, there's always more.
Did that set the tone or the rhythm for what you wanted to try and achieve and feel again? Each time you're pushing further?
I never wanted to feel it again. I never wanted to feel it again. But what it did was it showed me what is possible. And that's what set the new stage for me. That's when I realized, oh man, I've really been underachieving my entire life. But it taught me what is possible. It taught me like, okay, I got it, check. I'm about action, and action means less talking and more doing. So that's where I've been. It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I gotta get the fuck out of this water. And you're in Hell Week. And you're hour 1 of 130 fucking hours. It's cold, I can't be cold this long. And then this is where that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to be there. You don't care about SEALs. You don't care about any of this. You don't care about fighting for your country. All you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting when it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's gonna get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do, I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down, because your brain just wants to get the fuck out. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here, and I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds, and I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the f it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, f you, I run this motherfucker. There's no other way to make it out here. I mean, you can't just always be, head down in the sand. You got to learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times these fights and these battles, You gotta be your own coach. You gotta be your own motivator. Because there's a lot of people in this world who don't want to see you make it because they think you could take a piece of their pie. But I've learned to study people before I react. Because there's no successful person in the world who's in a good headspace that's gonna ever attack anyone in that kind of manner. There's always gonna be something wrong with them. So you gotta always dive a little deeper before you get your feelings hurt. Take time. Take that 1 second to pull back and study them. Because most people who are in good places, they don't care about what you're doing. They don't care about what you're doing. They don't try to destroy you. They actually will try to build you up versus destroy who you are as a person. So that's where I'm at now in life, is most people who do that, they're in a very dark, dark place. As you get bigger, as you get more successful, you open the door for people to critique every fucking thing you do. And most of the people who are critiquing you usually aren't where you are. And all their critiquing comes from people who are really at a low level of life, which is sad. But what we do, people who are on the upper level, hearing the haters at the lower level, like I said, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. So I started making these mixtapes with all of these hate messages about people talking shit. And it became such a source of fuel that it was amazing, because I know why you hate me. You hate me because you're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. So I make you question everything about yourself. So I'm going to continue making you question yourself by coming out here and being even more successful. So what happens is, there's days where I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this today. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So I listen to that while I run. I sometimes play it in the house. It's half comical, it's half inspiring. I'm actually inspired by it. Because I know I'm gonna get hit in the mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Yes, because a lot of people, it's like when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest, look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume. The things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You must build belief. You must build confidence and say, I can knock that shit out. Instead of the path of least resistance, I started choosing the path of most resistance to prepare myself for the journey that was coming my way. And you realize through hard work, you can outwork anybody. No matter how badass they are. It starts with yourself, man. You gotta start diving into those things that you are afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to a spot that makes you feel good. It's gonna be a false reality. And the second life gives you that challenge, all you want to do is go back to what gave you confidence, is that happy spot. No, what gave me confidence was spending years at a kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write on my own, realizing I can't learn the way you learn. I can't, but I can learn. What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear. That's what gives me confidence, is facing these things, overcoming them. And maybe not overcoming them every day, But facing them and facing them and facing them. Pretty soon like this, you know what, man, this is where it's at. It's not in that comfort zone. It's in the discomfort zone is where my confidence is getting built. That's where it's getting built. Happiness, peace, enlightenment, it's all up here, man. It's all up here. It's all up here. You just gotta be willing to go and face it. And that's the hard part. The physical standard is not what they need to meet. It's a mental standard you must meet in life. That's how I live my life. I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves. When most people quit, I had just started. Wow. And when you take that mindset and you learn to flip that around, that's what made me powerful. And my body followed.
And so I said, I want to do this. I'm going to give myself a challenge every single day until the fear goes away.
That's right.
And I feel like that's what more of us should be doing. I'm hearing that that's how you live your life.
That's all it is, man.
And it helps me feel so much more confident. When you overcome that fear of saying this doesn't have control over me anymore,
that's right.
It's like you can be at such more peace.
A lot of us speak in hollow words. I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do it anymore. Everything that comes out of my mouth has substance. It's real. We all have these feelings in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. I act on mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, so we go a different route. When I'm afraid of something, it's telling me you must do that. Life is one big mind game. And you're playing it with yourself. You cannot lose perspective of where you've come in life. I'm trying to give people a different thought process of life where failure, hell, disappointment, discomfort is a great learning tool. And many people don't understand that, but it's these few moments in life that you have. Like for me, I always talk about it. Rocky 1, round 14. That 1 2-minute and 13-second clip of Rocky getting up when Apollo knocked him down. That one clip, when I was going through a very bad time in my life, I saw what I wanted to be. And it wasn't a guy that won. It wasn't a guy that won everything he did. It was a guy that kept getting up after being knocked down. So I realized if that 2 minutes and 13 seconds changed my life, that's all it was. I saw something that I needed to be in the world I was living in. Maybe my story will give someone the 2 minutes and 13 seconds they need to change their life. Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in help. The mental standard is you must know how far you've come. I walk in a room now and I know the hours and years and decades I put into David Goggins. That's something, it's not on the wall. It's not a trophy on the wall. It's not a medal on your neck. I don't care how you perceive David Goggins, because through my journey, I figured out the one piece I was missing. I thought it was cars. I thought it was women. I thought it was money. I thought it was everything. The one piece I was missing was me having the courage to face myself. Where I got my work ethic from was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, and you have a disability, and you still want to be at the top of your class, I didn't want to just get by. When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can beat the valedictorian in school, but I got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that guy that valedictorian studied for an hour, and you know I caught you. I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Goggins got really invented. Was at a kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty, and then they were full. And when you can go through that, I still have them in my storage unit. You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize this is how I learned. This is unbelievable. It wasn't until I got real sick and my life got real quiet. I went from running 205 miles in 39 hours to I couldn't get out of bed. My life was taken from me. And that's when I realized I hadn't taken time to think about what I'd done in my life. I'd done all these things, but there was no finish line. I finished a race of life, and I wouldn't even receive my medal. I go on. I get in the car and I go. When I started figuring out life, that I was leaving so much in the tank. Once I realized, my God, man, I was this dumb, fat kid being bullied, and now I'm a 180-pound person, lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. Learn to read, learn to do this, learn to do that. I was like, I need more. I was fueling my mind with everything. And I never took time to say, my God, you came from this hell, and you're here. I had come 8,000 miles from where I started. But if you never know that, you're still in the $7 a month place. So it's that quiet place. It's that place by yourself. It's those hours and years and decades by yourself in the grip of life. When life has you by the throat and choking you out, and you're sitting there calm because you're trying to figure it out. You're not panicking. You're not quitting. You're not throwing in the towel. You're saying there's a way around this. And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in a vice, and you can figure that out, that's when you overcome. That's when you overcome. The journey getting there was harder than going through it. You know? So that's the whole thing about life, man. It's that journey that makes you who you are. One big thing is the accountability mirror. You have to start with yourself. So what happened in my life was we start to get, I call it like the rucksack. A rucksack is a pack that you carry in the military, and you put all your stuff in it. Your radios, your food, your water, all that stuff you have to carry in the military. That's your rucksack. It's a backpack pretty much. As you're growing up, we all have a backpack. Most of ours, hopefully, is empty, you know, and what we put in it is all the crap we go through in life. That's what is in the backpack for the civilians, and we carry it around with us. So what you have to start doing is realizing that no matter where you're at in life, I got called nigger a lot. My dad abused me, you know, learning disabilities, stutters, immaturity, insecurities, self-doubt, so much crap on top of me. So much stuff. I lied a lot to create friends. So much stuff was in my backpack. No one's coming back to help me. So it starts with that person in that mirror. You have to realize you are on your own now. And whatever else you believe in, I don't care what you believe in, but on earth, it's a very lonely journey. And it starts with the accountability mirror of looking at saying, hey, my dad who beat the hell out of me is not coming back. All these things are coming back. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. And it's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. It makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it. But if you live in that woe is me mentality of guess what? My dad did this to me. My mom just did to me. People who bullied did this to me. You're going to always live right there. You have to figure out ways to move forward because you're not coming back. And it starts with the mirror. And I call it the accountability mirror in the book. If you walk into any kind of event whether it be physical or mental, if you walk in with already putting that block on your mind of, man, this ain't gonna happen. People go, how did you run 135 miles to Death Valley? How did you run 100 miles with no training? Because I went into it not thinking, I can't do this, man. I went into it with a strategy. I had an open-mindedness. So until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, it then, only then, does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Until then, you're gonna always lose. There's energy all around us, but we think that we have to have it. It has to come externally a lot of times. We gotta have like a TV in front of us, watch somebody, listen to a podcast, listen to a great music. A lot of times in life it's quiet. And those are the times when you want to run and hide. You gotta be able to find energy. You gotta make up games, make up tricks, make up whatever you can to get to the next evolution of life. So taking souls is just another way. It's not about hurting the person you're against. It's about finding a tactical advantage in every situation you physically can to get to the next. You're trying to inch further to the goal line. And you don't want to go.
And what is that goal line? The
goal line is whatever it is for you. For me, I want to get through Hell Week. I want to get through Hell Week with my head up high, being strong. I don't know what the goal line is for everybody. My goal line has been very different for most people. But you're trying to find energy and strength to stay in the fight, to continue on until you get that second wind. The second wind is coming, whatever the second wind may be for you. It's coming. But what happens is we get so stressed out that the end is so far away that we just can't find another foothold or another handhold, so we jump off the cliff and we just fall.
Well, life took me somewhere unexpected. I'm unprepared. It's about 6 degrees out here.